Hey guys, welcome to another assimilation webinar. Just so I know, give me a number one if you can hear me clearly, so we know that everything is working properly, and if you can see my screen. There, we're getting a lot of ones right there. Fantastic. Guys, it's going to be a unbelievable webinar that we got planned for you. Stephen Floyd has got, and I and Derek have some amazing stuff planned for you. Very excited about this to show you how you can make money right now. Even if you're brand new, even if you don't know SEO very well, we're going to come up with solutions to show you how you're going to be able to capitalize on this latest Google update, what we're calling hashtag mobile apocalypse. And I just want to say hello to my guests that are here. Steven, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Cotton. How are you, buddy?
Doing fantastic. And Derek, as always, on all the assimilation webinars, how you doing, Derek?
Doing great.
Are you tired of talking today, Derek, from being on the phone all day?
Yeah.
Guys, hopefully Derek can find some more energy. If you've got questions for Derek, please put them in the box right now. He does have to leave a little early for some family obligations. You know, Derek's always so gracious to be on these webinars and give his spare time, not making a cent off of it. Guys, we'll also try some new things. And if you want to send questions, do them both ways. I want you to send some questions to questions@cottongrammar.com, and we might get to them in this webinar. We're going to just kind of mix it up a little bit. We're still going to look at questions that you're putting on here, but any questions that you have throughout the week for myself or for Derek or anything that we can talk about on the webinar, it's always great that we have these questions in advance, and then we'll get to them and answer to them. I know I just put this up, I don't know, maybe in the last 24 hours. We've already got 3 or 4 emails in, but any questions here, questions@cottongrammar.com. Starting probably next week, we'll go through all of these questions and get to them and let you see the questions. It's just easier that way. I know Greg has a method where he copy and paste the questions and shows them up, but that's how I learned SEO with Greg. We want to keep things moving a little bit more fluid here. So remember, if you do send something to questions@cottongrammar.com, and you don't want us to read it on the air, please let me know inside the email so I can cut it out or something. If not, they're going to be able to see that you're asking the question, what it's about, and everything. So that's just another way that you can send your questions over here. But if not, we'll just start out kind of addressing some of the SEO news around the week. And the big things that we've heard is obviously last week we showed you guys about the mobile-friendly update. We're calling it hashtag mobile apocalypse. But we've also had another update come through, which is the doorway algorithm. And, Stephen, Derek, and myself have been digging deep into this. And Stephen has been deep inside some Google forums. Derek has some thoughts on it. I'm going to let them both kind of express their opinions on what they think's going on and just kind of how it could affect us and what we can look for from this update possibly. I guess we can start out with you, Derek. What do you think this update's all about?
Sure. Well, you have to think about exactly what Google is trying to eliminate, and that's what's going to be the defining factor of whether your site's going to get hit or if it's going to stay. So if you're really just trying to make your SEO footprints a lot larger by targeting, very long-tail geographical terms that you're not actually serving to, but you're just kind of putting a link to funnel them into an actual contact page from there. That page really is only serviceable through Google. Like, you can't find it. You never find those kind of pages on the navigation, or they're only there to snag those extra keywords. And so if you're not having a legitimate address on those locations, that is going to be a big problem probably. But for legitimate businesses that have 50, 60 locations, those aren't doorway pages. So that's a pretty something you have to kind of ask yourself, is this page necessary, or is it just there for search engine traffic? Steven, you want to maybe add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you've said. I mean, we don't know what the impact of this is going to be, but like I mentioned to Cotton earlier, I was in a webinar yesterday actually with some Google partners, and we were talking about this very thing. And the general consensus in the group was that, this is going to be targeting, mainly things that are, a lot of auto-generated content. So, things like your SERP shakers and, similar. And by no means am I picking on SERP shaker, but, it's kind of the first one that I remember recently that's come out, that auto-generates, all these, thousands or tens of thousands of pages, with kind of spun content or, a duplicate type content. So, it looks like, I think that those tools have finally got Google's attention, and they've been out, I guess it's been about a year now since people really started using, SERP shaker, and again, there's other tools for sure, but that's the one that comes to mind, and so, I think that that's what's going to probably see a hit. So how much of a hit? We don't know. But it seems really easy to pick these out, in my humble opinion. Algorithmically, seems like it would be really easy for Google to see who these pages are. And the key that you said about having, the unique address, and for businesses who legitimately have, lots of different locations, that I don't think they're going to have an impact. Although, I'm on, the announcement from one of Google's employees that says sites with large and well-established doorway campaigns might see a broad impact from this change. So, that's one thing you always have to worry about with Google, is they don't really care about collateral damage so much. They don't really care about who they hurt, really. So, their motto is "Don't be evil," but I kind of question that sometimes. But that's kind of my take on it. So, like everything else, we're gonna have to kind of wait and see, and it'll roll in U.S. first, because that's typically how they do it. So, if you're out of the U.S., you've probably got a little bit more time. So if you're in the U.S., I would probably maybe start looking at doing some things a little differently. Besides the address, Derek, do you think anything you think of? I mean, like, I don't know if you...
Well, if you're... Okay, like some of the people I'm really wondering if they're going to hit are like people like Enterprise, They have... You just go to their site and it's just duplicate content for, every single zip code in the whole country, It's like
Home
those
Advisor,
are kind of sites. Yeah, Home Advisor.
Yeah.
Even Yelp is doing some fishy stuff it's just kind of hopefully gets wiped out, because they're just trying to target certain keywords that they literally just funnel into the main categories, right? So
yeah, they're the very definition of what this is talking about.
Yeah, and also local plumbers, you're gonna have to really watch your game here, because a lot of times you're just doing service business areas, and you don't have a location in every single neighborhood, but a lot of them are targeting those neighborhoods and just trying to get the extra juice out of those pages. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
You know what? Just to even take it even simpler for like those that are new. If you're new, basically for those of you that have just started search engine optimization or you've just started doing it, what we're talking about is just kind of stay away from building these large, massive sites and thinking that you're going to get rich quick off of them or that you're going to make any money. It's fairly easy, in my opinion, for Google to come up with an algorithm that just looks at every website that has over 1,000 pages and then send it through another filter and then just start digging deeper down. So, normal businesses, even the largest client that I have right now has about 93 locations. How many pages is that? Do they really need 1,000 pages? So, just kind of think about things like that. I've had a lot of people ask me also, hey, and which is funny. I'm like, glad I'm the guinea pig. They said that they're going to watch my website as a test to see what happens. What I want to bring to everyone's attention is, so just to get this out of the way very, very, very quickly so you can be proactive as well,
there's actually 12 Cottons living in each city, so
is that people always ask me, how do you get away with exact duplicate content? Well, the problem is the exact duplicate content stops right here. This is unique content. And like if we go to another city, even if we go to New Orleans here, we can look, the content changes below. So I have what is a hybrid, which is a hybrid site, which if I can get it to come up. So I have a hybrid website that has half duplicate and half original content at the bottom. And I've done that up to a year ago, waiting and thinking about what could happen and just to be safer. So I took the extra time, did the original content on there, something like that. The local website, guys, for those of you that are just starting out, this has nothing to do with it. What we would advise of those that you are doing is if you're investing a lot of money into these large type sites, I would just kind of put things on pause for a moment and to see what's going on, and just to kind of let things shake itself out. No pun intended with SERP shaker.
Yeah.
but that's just my advice on it. So I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on it if I was you. You know what?
Yeah, and if
Another
saw these,
sure, go ahead,
John.
Steven.
I was just gonna say one more thing, and there's a difference between two. If you look at the, and I don't have one to show you. I don't have any like example sites for like SERP Shaker. I'd have to show you a live site, and that would get someone mad at me. So I'm not gonna do that. But if you've ever seen one of these type sites, I mean, it's real obvious that it's generated, right? It's it's a whole bunch of text, on a page. It's not, the user experience that Google is, going for is really obviously not there. And to use your site, Cotton, as an example, even the content that would be considered, technically duplicate, it's night and day. It's still a completely different thing, what your site has, and really more what we think is going to get hit.
Exactly. Right.
It's going to be a lot of thin content pages that are just going to get tanks. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to really happen. So.
Yep.
Sure.
Which is good for us. I mean,
even Google is doing it, so it's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that just kind of covers that, guys. You've like seen it being posted with that. Just wanted to cover that real briefly. You got some pretty good insight on it for some pretty smart guys. Derek and Steven stay on top of all this stuff, and I've like looked at it a little bit myself. I'm not that concerned with it because I don't mess with those type of large sites myself. I like tested them way back 7-8 months ago and found them to be highly ineffective unless you're using super long tail keywords. So one of the other things,
anytime you're going to do something that's exploiting a loophole or a hack, it's got a time limit to it.
Exactly.
So there is a time to do that. If your business model is churn and burn, and you can throw up a site easily and make some money off of it, and it's going to go away in a month or two, then that's a model if that's what you want to do. But what we don't want to see is people thinking that the churn and burn type model is actually long term. That's what we don't want you to think. So, we're not telling you to stop, using that software or anything like that. We're just saying if you are, you might want to put it on hold, or you might want to shift some of your focus toward some more long-term strategies.
Sure. And we got James Upjohn that just kind of logged in also here. I'll unmute him. He said he had something to say about it, but it doesn't look like his mic's working. James, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Do you got anything to add with what we've been talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry I joined the party a little late, so I'm not sure if this was covered already. But, my understanding of you, and let me just get this clear, you're definitely talking about the doorway page update.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, Google Webmaster Tools says that a doorway page is specifically a page that leads a user that comes to that page to another page of your website, specifically for people create, as you've just been talking about, creating these monster sites with lots and lots of content on them. But the truth is, you don't really want your customer to see that page. You want to take them somewhere else, which has got your flashy stuff on it. And I heard you saying about having the address on the page might help. Just to kind of expand on that a little bit, if a doorway page is a page that has been created solely to drive somebody to somewhere else on your site, you would expect the average time on that page to be really low because you're focusing the user. It might be a page that you've ranked for a long tail keyword, and it might be blatantly obvious that you've kind of said, hey, if you want this info, click it here. And the link or a button appears very prominently at the top because you don't want them focusing on that page. So, a doorway page might be one where people aren't hanging around on too long, so it might be worth you looking at analytics. Do you have pages on your website that people are only on for a split second before moving somewhere else? If that's the case, why is it the case? Could the algorithm pick that up as potentially being a doorway page? Does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
You might want to. So if that was the case, how could you overcome that? You might want to put a video on there. You might want to put a little bit more than just some thin content. Try and force people onto that page. You already said have your address on there. Make sure that that particular page is also linking out to your terms, your privacy, your sitemap, your FAQs, your about page, so that it looks like it's an actual integral part of the website, rather than being something that's just been stuck on the end as an additional page with no real care or attention.
Oh yeah, even having like directions to how to get to your location from where you are, like a map and anything like that, it's just going to add a lot more time on the site there. And
exactly, people are going to read that content a lot more, and they're going to stay there longer. If somebody's coming to your site and they're on a page for 30 seconds before heading to another page, and that's happening a lot, then that really starts looking like a doorway page. Why are people not sticking on this page if the content not good enough? If it's not good enough, it shouldn't rank. It's offering no value to the end user if they're only staying on it for 3 seconds before clicking off it. So that's a great way that you could do that, put in the locations, etc.
That's all true. Moral of the story, guys, I wouldn't build these pages. I wouldn't build these massive websites right now. We're just kind of talking about ways to kind of patch it up to make them look a little bit more natural, but I would kind of stay away from them right now, especially if you're just starting out. If you know what you're doing, obviously, and I even hate saying this, they can be used as some churn and burn sites but that's not here or there. So just if you're brand new right now, which we have half people that are in Director's Cut who's been in OMG for over a year, and half the people here are just starting out. Our advice is just stay away from these large type sites for the moment. Work on your local SEO site. Dig in with what Greg's teaching. Go through the Over the Shoulder series, and you're going to be fine. So that's just the moral of the story. So hopefully we've covered all that. One other thing that I wanted to bring up is and Stephen kind of brought it to my attention last week because I see a lot of it going on, is you can see over here on the side of my Facebook group, all these groups right here. And you can see Stephen's in this group right here. And he's in this group right here too. Guys, by no means, if you see us in these groups, do I want you to believe that I am in this group and that I'm active. And I know that Steven said the same thing. I get added to a lot of these groups. Facebook is doing something right now that I literally despise. And you can manually get added to a group right now. So, and then there's a lot of groups I pay attention to for piracy reasons. And those of you that are pirating this webinar, trust me, we know about it. And my whole point of it is just because you see any of us in a particular group, there's nothing of any value in these groups unless we're the one running the groups. So a lot of these SEO groups that I see people bouncing back and forth to are guys that don't have two nickels to rub together, that claim that they have rankings that you can never see. You always see these charts without websites on them that are blacked out where, look, this went up 19 positions. But what you don't realize is they're ranking purple panda has purple panties, and they're ranking it all the way number 1, and they're trying to sell you something. So
or they put your website in there, Cotton.
Right. Exactly. Right. So what am I trying to say is, guys, please be very careful what you get your information outside of OMG. Just because you see that I'm in it, Steven's in it, Derek's in it, so that doesn't endorse that you need to be over there. I do not post in any groups. I like post in Steven's group, and I like post in Alex Becker's group maybe every couple months. And I know that Steven's the same way. Derek's the same way as well. I know that James isn't in very many groups as well. So guys, if you're trying to follow people around and go, oh man, maybe this is a cool group to be inside, just be very, very, very careful, because there's a lot of shady, and I'll say it 2 more times, shady SEO groups out there. And some of them are people that that couldn't make their payments at OMG and then decided to start up another group and then, start trying to sell people consulting and other stuff. So be very, very careful. If they don't have any visible rankings, chances are I just wouldn't listen to them. That's just my advice. I'm just going to get out my soapbox. I like seeing this over here, and I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. I'm in no other group, and I will not post in any other group but Steven's group, Becker's group, and OMG, and it's all tied into OMG pretty much. Everything changed together with OMG. So just wanted to get that out of the way. I guess we can start jumping into questions right now, and I'm just going to kind of toss the questions around to all of our special guests and myself to get them going right now. And the first question that we have is from Shane, If a company has a single address and is in the 7-pack for the city the address is in, is it possible to get that same address in other local 7-packs in the area, or do they need a whole other address? I think it's been addressed, but I couldn't remember how to reference it. Steven, you are the 7-pack expert.
Well, I'm going to have one answer, and Derek's going to have another one, I think.
That's okay. Different perspectives are wonderful.
No, to answer the question simply, yes. Is it possible? Absolutely. And obviously that's going to be determined by the competition and a lot of other factors. Typically what you're going to see is if you're ranking well in the 7-pack for a large metro area, that as long as there's not some really good competition in like local little cities next to you, a lot of times you'll be in there too, and that's extremely common with a single address. Now, if you want to go ahead and get a physical address in the other areas, that's going to make it a lot easier to do. Okay, and so if it were me answering the question and you were asking me what to do, I would get addresses in the cities that I want to rank in the 7-pack for. I would get actual real addresses there, and that's what I do for my clients.
Good answer. Before you answer, we always get this, so I'm helping out the people that are at what is the 7-pack for those new people. 7-pack is this. I didn't even spell it right because it's typing quickly. You type in Chicago lawyer. This is the 7-pack right here. This right here, what my mouse is going around. These map pins right here. If you search it from your cell phone or any mobile device, these come up first, and then this will follow them.
And do you see, like, it's not like that Chicago cotton? So there's a couple. Could you pull up, like, is there a suburb of Chicago? And like pull that up.
I don't know of any suburbs. If you want to give me one, I might.
Oh, I thought that was your
Elmwood Park or something.
Where?
Chicago. Just do like Chicago Elmwood Park or one of those.
Where?
No, I'm saying like what's a city outside of Chicago? Just right outside.
So,
let me see.
I was thinking more like
Lincoln. No, I mean, I like New Lincoln, but no, I just rank in Chicago and get phone calls.
Wait, just go back to Chicago and like zoom out.
Huh?
Go back to Chicago and go to the map and zoom out a little bit. But basically, if you're not in this screenshot of what's there, it's pretty much impossible.
Should be having a super strong connection here. Yeah, I don't know. Westmont.
Zoom out. Yeah.
We go to Westmont. Naperville. All right.
Naperville, that's
We'll
one.
go.
Or Bloomington.
There we go. There you go. Okay.
And so let's see. So these are all so those are all Naperville. All right. So yeah, it's not gonna pull there. So I can't think of one off the top of my head. But it is possible. But it's again, what Derek just said. About being in the centroid of the cluster. You're going to have to be in there. So it's really going to be close, in other words. It's going to have to be like California, where you can drive a mile and go through 3 cities.
Yeah.
That's very possible. But if you're in a big area like Texas, you're just not going to see it as much.
Yeah, and usually the more competition, they're going to make that centroid even smaller, usually, because it's going to be piled in there. So.
Yeah, so answer is yes, it's possible. Is it likely in an area where there's competition? No.
Got it.
Can you just to demonstrate that live, Cotton, can you just go and type in Hazel Grove? That's a place in the UK. Hazel space Grove.
Okay.
And then plumbers.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, like, this is a perfect example of this happening. The second maps listing doesn't say Hazel Grove.
Right.
It says Macclesfield Road, Stockport. So Macclesfield Road, Stockport is not actually in Hazel Grove, but is still ranking anyway. And that's exactly what Stephen was just talking about. And there's a real example of that happening.
Great example.
Because there's only 3 listings.
Exactly.
What you just showed everyone, James, is how all they got to do is start building citations, and they can take number 4 right there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so hopefully that answered the question. Next question from John is, to make a website mobile friendly, does it have to be a WordPress site before we're using Jetpack? We are going to answer that. So any sort of mobile questions we're going to cover in the lesson after Q&A. We want to hear money getting based on the mobile friendly alert. We're definitely going to get to that. Derek, do you know how to test pages other than the main page for mobile friendly? I have found several projects. Yeah.
Well, the Google mobile friendly test will test. You just put whatever page you want to test in there.
Are we talking about the one from George?
Yes.
Yeah, the easiest way to do that is in Webmaster Tools. Webmaster Tools will test the entire site for you and tell you any pages that are not mobile friendly. So if you need to know the whole site, you do it directly in Webmaster Tools. And if you want to do just a single URL, then you can use just the testing tool, the external one.
Got it.
So you'd have to be logged into your Google Webmaster account. In other words, if you wanted to test the entire site, a third party can't do that, or not the same way.
Sounds great. Think we got that question handled. The next question. I'm struggling with DAS. It says, I'm struggling with DAS bundling concept a little bit. Could you make or do a brief review of exactly how to maximize their usage? Thanks, Conk. I don't know if we have enough time to do that. I know that Jimmy has an advanced DAS course that's out. Isn't that right, Derek?
Yeah, they reopened it for a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot more involved now, and so you're not going to get exact maps usually, but you're going to learn concepts and strategies. So that's the best place to learn from. Yeah,
it would take too long for us to go over that at the moment. And Jimmy's got the advanced course out, and we try to route everything over to him. And hopefully Jimmy will be on the webinar next week. If you ask that question to him, and if he feels up to it, he might just go on an impromptu lesson. He's been known to do that. So Jimmy's the best person to answer that, and we'll just see what happens when he comes on next week if we ask the same question.
Hey, by the way, that first listing there, Grove Heating, it's not even a verified listing. So some people ask me if you can rank unverified listings, and that's proof right there.
Yeah, there you go. Next question is from David. This one is for Steven, which I posted in the Facebook group. Can you cover your basic process for testing PBNs on your test sites to make sure they pass good juice? That almost sounds like a whole nother webinar, Steven.
Yeah, it is. But David, I can give you the 60-second version. So what he's referencing is, I can't remember where I said this or when I said this, but when I get a new PBN, before I ever consider pointing it at a money site, I have a network of test sites that all rank for long tail keywords. And so I have a bunch of inner pages on my, basically a test PBN network that rank for long tail terms. And one of the things that I'll do to test is I will point a prospective PBN at some of those pages. And as far as a process, I typically will do 3 links from a single PBN. And so one of them will be like an image link, one of them will be like a money type anchor link, and one of them will be like an LSI type link, and I will shoot all 3 of those links from the PBN I'm testing to one of the ones in my network. And so if the network PBN, if my PBN from my test network is ranking for whatever for chocolate chip cookies, then the links I send from the PBN are going to be chocolate chip cookie related, an exact match, and then an alt tagged like image. So I'm hitting it with heavy anchor, and then I'm going to give it about a week and see what happens and see what moves. And so is this scientific? No, but I've had really good results with this. And I don't typically buy a site unless I'm pretty solid on its numbers. But I'm kind of anal retentive when it comes to safety. So the PBNs I point to my test network are probably much more safe than what most people buy or think a good PBN is. So I'm jumping through just one more last hoop. So if there's no move or if there's a positive move, I consider it a good PBN. If there is a move down, then I have to look at how it moved down, and kind of go from there. So that's the basic process.
Sounds great. Hopefully that is enough information for David to be satisfied. If not, I'm sure we'll be covering it in more detail if you ever decide to come back, or if it's something that we can expand on that anyone really wants to know about.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Greg. I'd love to hear how Greg does it.
Sure.
Yeah, I have different tests as well for mostly for diagnosing things after the fact. So
Yeah.
we'll go over that next time.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole other webinar also. So Mark asked, hey, Cotton, will you give us an email template to approach potential clients about converting their non-mobile friendly sites? I'm going to be going over an email that I sent out that I've just made up to date now, about $18,000 off of since last week. I'm going to show that here on the webinar. Template, I don't do templates, but you can pause it on the replay, copy it down, and make it your own. So we're going to go over that here a little bit later. Next question is, hey guys, in order to build DA, is it a good idea to go out and get as many links, even no follow, from a high DA site that will let you build a profile, aside from the forums, I would guess? Anyone want to tackle that one?
It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's just it doesn't matter if it's no follow or not. No follow is going to increase your page authority and domain authority anyways, but you still want to focus on really the quality of those links, because even if you're doing, say, subdomain boosting, which they teach in Network Empire, it's still all the trust onto the subdomain is still going to pass towards a root. So if you're not focusing on those kind of metrics, doing too fast of link building can actually kill all the trust flow on your site. Hope that answers a little bit. Con?
I can still hear you, Derek. Are you there?
Yeah, okay. I'm not myself here.
Yeah, I can still hear you too. I'll just so what you just said there, Derek, was absolutely spot on in terms of the DA. We need to be safe in how quickly we're building links, especially if it's to our root. Yes, you can increase the DA by submitting your links to lots of high DA sites, but just as anything, take it easy. Don't go too crazy. What I like to do is I like to see what my competition are doing in terms of how quickly they're building links, and just build them a little bit better and a little bit quicker. But if your number one competitor's got 18 links, you don't need to go and build 28,000 to beat them. So, just be a little bit smart with it, really, and don't get your site blacklisted for doing something stupid.
Yeah, and plus also not just if they're all really getting links that are from really thematically niched sites, their bang for their buck's going to be a lot better. So try and get a lot of the links that they're going to get, especially when they're co-cited. So if like a lot of times the client will be in a city and then they're going to get a lot of links from a place that's citing multiple websites in that same city, same niche or whatever. Those ones really move your site like crazy. So focus more on quality and then don't even worry about quantity at all right now.
Yeah, I would. One thing real quick about this question, he said, specifically he said from high DA sites that let you build a profile.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just be careful with that. If you're building, profile links are fine as long as they're on high quality sites. And so I just spoke with Cotton. He's gonna jump back in. So we're just gonna keep here for right now. Yes, just overall, just be careful. Be careful. When you're building links. Don't build too many on one particular type of site either. So, if you're going to build do follow links or no follow links from high DA sites, I'd prefer that they be relevant to what you're doing, not just picking them just because they happen to have, high DA. So, all right. So I'll go ahead and read the next question. We'll skip over Cotton's question here. So the next question goes out from Mark. It says, is there a quick way to run some kind of script to identify WP sites that are non-mobile friendly rather than viewing the source to check for WP references?
I
Yeah. So
Yeah, I I use what WP theme is that? So yeah, what
yeah.
WP theme is that? That's it's not just good for telling you whether it's a WordPress site or not. It's also good. Like you might be on the internet and think, wow, that guy's theme looks absolutely awesome. What's he using?
Yeah.
So what WP theme is that? It will tell you exactly what theme they've got. It will tell you whether it's available to download, whether it's a free theme or a paid one. But if you put a non-WP site in there, it'll tell you within a split second that it's not WordPress.
Yeah, I really like that too because of the plugins. I usually don't really actually care what the theme is, but I like it because unless that's it, I think it's the same one I'm talking about, the one you're talking about, where it'll also show the plugins that they're using.
Yeah, there's
And I
two sites
like
like
that a lot. Yeah, for the widgets and stuff, I'll be like, wait, where'd they get that widget? You know, where'd that
I also
come from?
use what CMS is that one? It's also for.
Yeah.
I'm like, what CMS is this? I gotta find out.
Are you
All
guys
right.
able to hear me right now?
We are
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, my mic just kind of crashed out on me. I've had to use another mic, so crazy. So
Welcome back.
yeah, technical difficulty live while the webinar is going on. It's, you have a good staff when you don't have to worry about it. It's like, man, everyone.
Well, we answered all the questions now, so we're done. So.
Exactly. Exactly. Where are we at right now? We on Don or?
We are on. We're actually we skipped over Jeff and Spencer's questions at 4:02 p.m. that were both for you.
Yeah, the local lead boss stuff. There's a question about local lead boss and if I'm still using that. No, I used it 7 or 8 months ago and had success with it. I wouldn't advise getting it. Unless you just got some money to burn. It's going to show you people that don't have certain social profiles. It's going to give you some WordPress vulnerability things that that you can send some emails out to. I probably signed up about 7 or 8 clients with it. Probably made 100 grand off of it. I'm not telling you that it's the best client getting method to use, but it works. I've seen some people post. I haven't used it in literally 6 months. That they were having some problems with support or they weren't keeping up with it very well. So I don't know if I can fully recommend to go back towards it. I have had success with it, so we'll just leave it at that. And we'll just jump over to
Mark's question.
Okay, you mean
We're on
about
Don's.
okay. That you say we're on to Don's now?
Yeah.
Great. So a big shout out to Cotton Grammar and Derek on the Tumblr Razzle Dazzle. My last post got over 1,050 reblogs. Throw in the RSS and social exposing. Great movement and process. Ninja beyond ninja. So definitely thank Jimmy Kelly for that. Jimmy's the one that did that. Derek just kind of brought it all very, very simple for everyone to see, and I just kind of was the I guess the John Madden calling the plays while Derek was doing it. So it's a very, 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 very good method. So you can thank Jimmy and Derek for that. Next question is from Julie. It says, it seems that to use Jetpack, you need to have a WordPress.com account. Should you use a different WordPress account for each website? Thanks, guys, in advance. Anyone can tackle that.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Technically, no, you don't have to have an account with WordPress.com to use Jetpack. But you should to enable all the features. So if you're going to be doing this for clients, I would go ahead and make, if they don't already have a WordPress.com account, I would just go ahead and make one for them. One of the things that I do with all my clients is have them make a domain email account for me, and I use that for things like citation verification and that kind of stuff. So you should have that anyway. And that's what you can set it up for them, and then just give it to them on the Keyman document or whatever. So definitely you have to have a different one because you're not going to be allowed to use the same one on different sites for this purpose. So you don't have to have one technically, but you should, and it should be a different account for each site.
Sounds great. A lot of ones in there. We'll get to the next one, and it says from Carol. It says, I made a dedicated site, a dedicated mobile site for a client, and Google says that the tool's awesome. It says this page is mobile friendly, but the Webmaster tool shows 20 pages that are long articles that I did not include on the mobile site. Is there any way to exclude them? Anyone want to tackle that?
Is there any way to exclude them? Like how? I'm not sure I understand the question. If it's not, if they're being excluded, I guess she means they're being excluded just from the mobile version because she left them out.
Exactly.
Right. Well, then they're automatically excluded. Maybe I don't understand. Derek, you understand?
Not really, but I mean, maybe if some of the times the mobile sites don't add all your pages, especially if you have, like for me, I had custom post types and they wouldn't include those at all, so I couldn't use a mobile site on that one, but I'm not sure if that's anything related.
Yeah. We probably need more information, really, to dive into that.
Carol, it's James here. What I'll say to you is, without any more information, it's difficult to say, but by all means, send me an inbox message if you don't want it shared on the webinar, and I'll take a look at that. It's really difficult to say without further information than just that. So, but I'm happy to take a look at it for you and see what's going on there.
There you go. Got the question taken care of. The next question is, how many strong links on average does it take to power up a social property of 40 plus PA?
Depends on the domain authority of the social property, but in general, like say if you had a domain authority of 100, it really only takes one PA 40 link to actually shoot that DA 100 up to a PA 40. So it's just kind of scales down from there. But it's almost like a 1-to-1 ratio when you're on a DA 100.
Okay, great. Trying to read through the questions here. Gonna skip one, go on to here. Go on to Corey. It says, my client's domain is, and I'm not going to list it just in case he doesn't want to, but all the rest of us can see it. Do you think this is negative, and would you recommend using this site as a PBN, as a money site? All women think this domain is negative. My client is a man's doctor who helps men in their second half of their life. He wants me to help them get customers for himself and sell other people's products. No, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and name it out. Hope for the Caveman.
Sounds like a paleo site to me is what I would think if I saw it.
Yeah.
Right, or a CrossFit, whatever.
Yeah, the caveman diet's pretty popular. Like if you go and do a lot of search terms on that, that's a highly competitive niche to get into.
Yeah. I'm saying I don't think it has a negative connotation is what I'm saying.
No, not at all. But we would need a little bit more information.
Well, I think it's because it's relating to it's a men's doctor.
Right.
So it's kind of calling all men cavemen.
I just think that they should rebrand it differently if they want to get it ranked a little better than to go with the caveman. I mean, that's like that's a crazy and competitive niche to get into. Any of the CrossFit stuff and paleo and caveman diet, all that sort of stuff is very, very, very competitive. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what? Why don't we ask the women in the audience? Women, if you've seen something that says Hope for the Caveman diet, or I'm sorry, hopeforthecaveman.com. Does that offend you? Give me a 4 if that offends you. I'm probably not going to see any 4s. No one's doing anything. No one's offended. Uh-oh. We got one. We got one.
How about a 2 if it doesn't offend you?
Yeah. How about a 2? Yeah. 2 says no. They don't care. Yeah. 2s are like, we're not even. Right. It's now for me to find where the other question was after I lost it. So you guys are going to have to try to follow up. There we go.
It's the Franklin TN guide one.
There we go. So the next one is from David. Should we continue building sites like FranklinTNGuide.com with this new doorway algorithm? I wish I would have watched those videos on OMG. I haven't. So if someone has, like Derek, maybe he can answer.
Oh yeah, those will be perfectly fine. You're actually contributing quite a lot of content, and it's all unique, and you're actually providing a good user experience for people landing on those pages to explore their area. So those are completely fine.
I'm not going to name the person, but I mean, everyone in OMG uses it. How will this affect local lead explosion? Guys, once again, I would use it with caution, as a wait and see type of thing. In other words, if you've got some sites up, we've already kind of addressed this and showed you how you can kind of make it not as obvious what's going on, but I wouldn't invest a lot of money into it until we have better, more solid answers about what's going to happen and what's going to go on. I like know that I've spoken to the owner of Serp Shaker, and he's seen some sites come down over the last few days. Some sites get hit, but once again, they can put these right back up. So just kind of go in pause mode right now for a little bit, and let's just do a wait and see. Nothing might happen, something might happen, but if you're new and if you're short on money, I don't know if I would encourage you to invest your money in that method or in coaching that teaches you how to do this at the moment. That's just my personal opinion. Next question is, we explain what the doorway is. I think we did. These are questions after I asked if they could hear me. So we went on the doorway quite a bit. So Dale says, if I don't want to deal with offline clients, as Jason Flalian suggested in his webinar for OMG, can I get quality leads, and how do I go about finding out who in OMG could fulfill services they need, and how would the commission structure work for both parties and myself and the OMG expert? First of all, I will say this. I know Jason. I think he's a great guy. As you've seen in the OMG modules, Greg and Joe Martfolio ranked the Iowa City page. I don't know how active Jason is in getting clients. That information I don't have. But from the webinar that I know that I was on and that I seen, what Jason was talking about is just outsourcing everything 100%. I myself don't outsource anything. And I think if you're a brand new OMG person, if you don't have a good foundation set to go through all the material, to know exactly what you need to do, how do you know if the person you're outsourcing it is doing quality work or poor quality work, or even knows what they're doing? So I'm so meticulous about what I do. I have yet to have one person do SEO on my site until a month ago. There's two people that have actually done SEO on my site testing different things. This is Derek and Jimmy. That's it. And I don't think any of you in OMG would say, Cotton, you're crazy. That's risky. So when you get other people that claim that they know SEO, if they don't have rankings or anything, that want to fulfill it, that's going to be up to your discretion. I would advise you to dig into the material. OMG is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It isn't anything for you to just dive into and think you're going to make money real quick. You're going to get leads. You're going to give this lead to an SEO, and then you're just going to churn and burn it all the way through. It's never been designed like that. It's to teach you a skill that can't be learned at any university or anywhere else. So with that, after you've learned the foundation of it, you can post an OMG and tell them that you have leads or that you have some SEO clients and you would like to outsource the SEO. I'm sure that you will have a lot of OMGers that would be willing to partner up with you on that. I don't think there's really any right answer on what percentages or the commission structure is with both parties. It's kind of an individual basis. Derek or Steven or James, do you have anything to add to that?
Cotton, can I add, or actually kind of echo one point that you made a minute ago?
Sure.
On this, there's a thing that I always say to my students, which is you have to be able to inspect what you expect. Okay. And meaning that, like you were saying, Cotton, it's very important that you understand, all of these things and how they work before you can outsource this to someone else, because otherwise you're not going to know if they're doing quality work or not. You're not going to know if they're making mistakes. So, if you don't know how to do on-site optimization properly and you hire someone to do it, then the only way you're going to know they're not doing it right is when you're not ranking anything and all your clients are going away. So make sure that you get the sink and swim, get the basics down, like Cotton was saying, and once you have a firm grasp and you know what you're doing and you've ranked a couple of sites, right, you shouldn't be looking to outsource from day one typically anyway, right? You should be looking to outsource when you're in that growth mode, when you've got more clients than you've got, daylight hours. So definitely, again, I support, what Cotton was saying. Make sure you can do it first, then go ahead and then you can train them the way you want them as well, because you're going to have your own ways of doing things. You're gonna find the OMG training, you're going to apply it, and then you're going to do some little, different things probably. The longer you do this, the more it becomes, custom to you and how you do things.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize is Jason Flalian is one of the greatest affiliate marketers in the world. I have nothing against him. He's a beast. But you're on a webinar right now with four of the best search engine optimization experts on the planet. and you know, people that are making a ton of money. And I would take our advice on this when we're giving it to you. Jason knows how to sell it for you to buy it. We're telling you the reality of what's going on. And please, please, please heed what Stephen and I have said. Build a foundation. And then, I mean, I love that phrase, what he said. You know, you have to inspect what you expect. That's pretty powerful. I've never heard it said like that before. And you know what? I like think that I want all of you to understand that. I, I like think that's going to be our first hashtag. Inspect what you expect. And right there, guys. Let me start out, guys. That's some pretty powerful stuff, Stephen. I like appreciate you giving that advice so everyone can understand that. You've kind of simplified it in just a few words. Anything simple, I am all about, guys. So please go to the Facebook group. Let like Stephen know that you understand what we're trying to say. You need to be able to know what you're inspecting. So please, guys, just know this. Don't think that you're just going to make money out of the gates, that you're going to come in here and just flip a switch and you're going to make millions of dollars. Literally, I was 120 days to 100 days dead broke, wondering if I was going to make any money at this at all. So, and I think a lot of us have been in that position. Derek's been doing this for over 10 years. So guys, please, let's get 100 of these things go on, man. We have almost 300 people on the webinar. I want to see that you guys are live. I want to see that everyone's paying attention. I want you to give the hashtag on there. Then we'll look at the next question and we'll go from there. So guys, please just let me know that you understand that. We'll continue to go on. Does the algo update include sites? I'm not going to give people's names. We pretty much covered everything that we are going to cover on the doorway algorithm. Any other question that we see about this, we probably addressed it, and these questions were while we were talking, so I'm just going to kind of skip over those. A lot of the same questions about the doorway stuff. Just more questions. Same thing, more questions with the doorway stuff.
Are they all the same questions? Or
Yeah, a lot of doorway stuff, and we just kind of put that to bed. We kind of put all that stuff to bed, so I'm just kind of going through here. Here we go. Adrian, how does Jetpack add-on go with the Director's Cut skin? Is there any problems? Is it required with the Director's Cut skin to stop the mobile apocalypse? I'm pretty sure that the Director's Cut theme is already mobile friendly. I haven't used it.
I think I'm almost positive that Mike Hayden said that it was.
Exactly. So there's really nothing that you need to do. Adrian, I guess we need a little bit more information. Did you test and it failed it? We would need to know, but I'm almost 95% positive that that is a mobile friendly skin that's in the Director's Cut for everybody. So the next question is this update targeting directories also?
Yeah, like Yelp's pretty much a directory, so it's going to be targeting them. I think we won't know how much until the actual storm comes through, you know.
Right. A lot of people commenting about the doorway stuff, so I'm just kind of skip through all of them. We just kind of put that to bed. Here we go. Finally, this will be a Derek question that might get thrown off on a Jimmy question. It says a DAS question. Does it make sense and is it worth the effort to find and register age Web 2.0 accounts that already have PA to get better, faster results with DAS? Also, how big of a disadvantage is the URL of such an age Web 2.0 properties, which mostly doesn't match the main keyword?
In terms of juice, it's going to be even better than starting up a new account. But I mean, when you're starting a new account, you do have the advantage of using your keywords in the domain. But you definitely can use it in your stack. Like even if you had, usually it's going to be Tumblrs because a lot of them are open for registration after they get closed. But a lot of like other sites like Weebly and whatever, they don't allow registrations, even though those ones are long gone or whatever. But you can always use it in your stack and have one Tumblr that is exactly what you're trying to target, and then you can use the other Tumblr to kind of stack on top of that one too, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Great. Next one is more of a statement. It says from Chris. It says, before joining OMG, I was literally in over 100 groups, and after joining OMG, I realized 90% of the groups were crap. Now I'm in less than 20 of them. And absolutely, guys, don't trust me. All the information that you want. This There was a post that was in OMG this week, and I'd like to know that all of us kind of addressed it. Want to know about a black hat loophole that was in some black hat forum somewhere, and
The
guys,
math.
there's a million people making $1 million in these black hat forums that literally have to get on food stamps to buy their milk and cheese. So guys, please, if you're looking for any shortcut, shortcuts get shut down. And what we're trying to teach everyone new that's here on OMG is follow the basic fundamentals, play it safe, and you're going to have a longevity of a site. CottonGrammar.com has been up for over a year and a half now, and it's held the St. Louis #1 position now for over a year because it was done clean and it was done right. If I would have took shortcuts and did other stuff, it would have got spanked away. And I'm not saying that you're not going to get hit by an algorithm here or there, and you might not have to adjust something, but Derek, wouldn't you agree to that if you're just starting out to just stay away from all those types of shortcuts?
Yeah, if you're just starting out, stay away from that. If you're experienced and you just kind of want to learn how search engines work better, like Black Hat does open a lot of those opportunities for you. So learning how to separate how things rank versus get penalized, it's a good experience to learn. But if you're just learning, starting out, don't even go down that route.
Hey, Cotton.
Yes.
I'm almost positive. James, was it you when that was posted? I'm almost positive it was James that said this, but he did like a hashtag indexed or rank in 5 or index in 5 minutes, and then hashtag gone in 5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
It was hashtag indexed in 5 minutes, indexed for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, those kids kill me, man. I mean, there are a lot of young kids, and I admire them. I mean, they're just bored and trying to find different ways to make things happen quick. But God bless them, man. I mean, they're like still playing Xbox Ones and living in their parents' basement. I mean, they're not running $100,000 or $1 million a year SEO agencies and know how to service Fortune 500 companies, which is what we all aspire to do here. So I'm off my soapbox on that. It says, Greg mentioned that you should send 2.0s for now. I think it's more of a statement. Greg, another plug. Greg's got a great webinar coming up this Friday, guys. It's posted in the Facebook group. If you haven't signed up for it, I would. It's a very special event. Greg rarely does these events that is not Q&A but are lessons. Matter of fact, I don't think he's ever did one since I have been in OMG. So it's a very special event. I will definitely be there this Friday night at 8 o'clock. Definitely check it out, especially if you're new, if it's your first 4 months, 6 months in OMG. Even if you've been doing SEO a while, Greg has a way of just bringing things back down to basics, and he's going to bring some clarity about what's working right now and how to get your site off the ground right now with PBNs, with other stuff that's going on. When Greg talks, I would basically listen. So this is a different than a Q&A stuff. So that's a great question to address on that. It says a question from Andres. I am brand new and would like to start by learning how to build an Amazon business with your SEO techniques. Should I begin by selecting a product in the niche and then building a site with the product content and place the links on my Amazon product? Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Amazon. Mike is digging deep into Amazon right now. A person that I would try to reach out to is Liz Herrera right now. She's like kind of our OMG Amazon expert right now. I'd like to know that we had a special guest on Saturday with Mike, who was also saying he would mentor a few people. You want to go through the mentor thread and look for that. Guys, you know what? Speaking of that, not to get off subject, give me a number 4 if that mentor thread has like been helpful to you. Give me a 4. Great. And here's the real question. I love the thread, but here's what I really want to know. What I want to know is give me a number 9 if you've actually helped someone or hooked up with a mentor. If you've got a mentor help you or you've taken someone to mentor. Give me a number 9. Some people are going mentor thread. Great. We're getting a lot of 9s through here. So that's great. Guys, please, if you're having success, guys, I want to have you on an assimilation webinar. Please keep me updated if you're having any success or if your mentor's done something great for you. Send me a personal message and let me know. I would like to get them featured on the webinar and mentors, if you're having success with the people that you're helping, send me a message and let me know also. Whether it's an income report or whether a milestone that they did or something they bought their first PBN. I love knowing about this sort of stuff. I want to use it to encourage people. Anything I love hearing about, just shoot me a message and say, hey, Cotton, you don't have to reply back. I just wanted to update you on this. I love getting stuff like that. Just shoot me a message on Facebook. I think that it was that we're going to see a lot of income reports from this, and it's very, very, very exciting. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to find where we left off at.
Hey, yeah, can I throw in one thing real quick?
Sure.
Multiple people on here are asking the same question, and that question is about the doorway pages we opened with.
Mhm.
It is an upcoming update. There's no date. So number one, if you're putting sites in saying this site hasn't been affected, it hasn't because it hasn't happened yet. And number two, the only people that know when it's going to happen is Google. So it's an upcoming update. Could be tomorrow, could be on this webinar, could be in a year.
Mhm. And guys, I do want to say this. I apologize for those of you that are just in Director's Cut. Director's Cut only people don't have access to our Facebook group. Only Project J, X, J, and Breakthrough have access to the Facebook group. So there is a thread on there to where we said before to where I tell people to go to the Facebook group and do hashtag. That's what it's talked about. So hopefully you'll make a decision to upgrade to Project Breakthrough and get everything also. So everyone can see it that's in the Facebook group. Yes, NHB as well. So what we'll do is guys, I think we've kind of wrapped up all the questions that we've got right now. And go from there. Trying to see if there's any other question that I missed that we might want to go. No. Question. The unverified listings shown in the 7-pack, are these listings built the same way as a verified listing, except no address postcard verification?
They're scraped. Basically, Google creates them. A user didn't create them. Google created them.
Okay, great. I think that's it. Oh, someone, Dave like he's, he put there, not a doorway question. It says, Cotton, could you talk about your daily process so that you're managing 78 SEO customers? Let's stipulate that you're talking to people who are willing and able to work our ass off, but put in the time. I realize your mindset is geared much towards lower number clients. Yes, that's correct. And Dave, that could be a whole other webinar. And I tell you what, Dave, what I'll do is that will be a discussion on a future ghost webinar. And we'll do it at that. I'm also, guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm also building out. There was a lot of people reach out last week and then say that they really appreciated the Agency 101 videos. I believe 2 are now in OMG right now. I've got about 5 or 6 more really basic stuff for those new people that are just starting out. And I will probably go over some of the mindset stuff. But what we like to try to cover here is kind of stay on pack with what the webinar is about. It's a great question, Dave Keys, but is a more of a whole other webinar that we'll do. Guys, another thing I want to do that while we do this, and then I'm going to hand it over to James, who's going to talk some site speed with us. Then we're going to go into the main thing, which is Steven. I know that Derek's going to have to take off in a moment. But guys, how many of you, give me a number 3 if you have been on or enjoyed the Ghost webinars. Great. A lot of 3s. Guys, I just want to say that I do these out of the kindness of my heart when I have time to do them. What I noticed is at the end of the Ghost webinar thread that there's a lot of people saying that they felt excluded, that we're punishing them for being in another country. Guys, what I want you to understand is that's not the object of these ghost webinars. It's literally from the bottom of my heart trying to give back a little bit more. And what it all comes down to, guys, as Dave Keith said, I'm very, very, very busy. As you can see, I'm very, very, very active with what's going on in OMG and everything else. The only spare times that I have are late in the evenings. And also, it doesn't help anyone doing these spontaneous webinars if I do them at 7 a.m. in the morning and only 15 people show up. So what I've learned is I don't want to compete with Network Empire and their webinars in the evening, or my webinars on Wednesdays, or Joe's on Thursdays, and Greg's on Monday, and then this. So there's very limited times that we can have them to where we're going to get a good audience, to where people are going to be home. So unfortunately, what we found is the best way to do this is, we had over 300 people on there. It's not meant to exclude anyone. And then the next question comes in, why don't you record them? It's simply because they fit nowhere in OMG. They are unscripted. A lot of times we were, like on Sunday, we were talking about a lot of personal stuff, and I necessarily don't want that recorded. And they're more of a motivational webinars than they are going to be an SEO webinar. And, it's kind of a pick me up, if you can make it. Hey guys, I'm having some friends over. If you want to show up, you can. I try not to put anything in the webinar that is essential, that you must know. Obviously, you can see what we did last week with this mobile update, that I felt it was so important that I made sure that all the OMG members had access to it. So with that, guys, I will never put anything in a ghost webinar. And I do want to remind you this has nothing to do with your OMG membership. It's nothing to do. This is above and beyond something I'm doing on my own. So with that, guys, I hope that you can understand that. And, there will never be any ghost webinar recordings. And if I'm forced to record them, I just rather not do them. I want them to be personal. I want them to be from the heart, and want to just leave it all out there and not have to worry about it. Like Fletch was honest and talked about some serious family issues. I talked about some of the heartaches that I went through getting stuff set up, and it's just more of talking to friends back and forth. It really doesn't have any sort of category to go in with like OMG. So guys, if you understand that, and if you still want these ghost webinars to continue, just please, I know we're going to confuse people on this webinar, give me a hashtag ghost on the OMG group right here. And I've got some pretty cool stuff that we can do for some future ghost webinars. I will do my best to try to move these times around. But what I found is that later in the evening, when I don't have any clients bothering me and everything else, is the best time to do it. So if you'd like to see these ghost webinars continue, if you're okay with them not being recorded, just kind of let me know. Give me a hashtag ghost on there. And while you're doing that, James, my friend, are you ready to roll?
Hey, I'm sorry about that. I was just unmuting myself then.
That's okay. Are you ready to roll? Do you need the presenter so you can talk about some site speed, or you want to show anything for us? Or
Yeah. What I want to do actually is in real time. I shot a video in OMG a little while ago about how to load up the speed of your websites.
Mm-hmm.
But when Google brought out the mobile friendly test, or just before they brought that out, they also made it much easier for us to be able to speed up our websites. So I think it'll be pretty cool for me to do that live on the webinar. And then if anyone's got any questions, we can get those answered at the same time. Because I get quite a few people sending me messages saying, hey, I watched your video. Can you just answer this? Can you just answer that? So it might be good just to kind of do an updated version of what's already in OMG. So some of you might have already seen some of this, but stay with it anyway, because like I said, there are some changes which makes it a little bit easier. So am I all right to take the presenter screen?
Sure. Let me go ahead and give it to you. Make presenter. You should have the screen in a moment.
And hopefully you will see that now. And can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it. Guys, give me a number 3 if you can see James' screen. Yep, everyone can see
And
it.
just give me a number 5 as well if my audio is coming through all right. Sometimes it gets a little bit. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Some people are saying small. I'm not sure how my screen's small, but okay, fantastic. Great stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you something really quickly. Google's got this amazing tool that we can use to check the speed of the mobile version of our site and the desktop version of our site. If you just go to Google and you type in page speed insights, what you'll see here is Google's got a tool specifically, developers.google.com. And what I'll do for you actually is, just to make it easier, I'll just post this in the chat so that you've all got that. You might want to bookmark to that site. Hopefully that's just gone out to all of you now. And this is brilliant because I had done this on my site already, but I've undone what I did before so that I could show you it again. Because I hit that thing of thinking, well, I already do this for all of my sites, so I've just spent the last half an hour or so trying to make it slow again so that I can speed it back up. So hopefully this will work out okay. leorose.org is one of my money sites. So we'll just wait for this to go through. And what we can see here on this site right away is Google's telling me that the mobile version of my website is scoring 53 out of 100, and the desktop version of the website is scoring 76 out of 100. And it's giving me a lot of different things that we can do to try and make these speeds a little bit quicker. So it took a long time for me to go through all of these and work out exactly what they all meant. But what I'm going to try and do is make as much of this as simple as possible for you. So, Cotton, if anybody, or Stephen or Derek, if anybody asks any questions specifically related to this, I won't be looking at the questions. So feel free to jump in at any time and just, if anybody's got any questions related to exactly what I'm doing. But the first thing that Google is telling me to do here, as I can see, is leverage browser caching. I'm going to focus on this one first of all, just to see what it is exactly that it wants me to do. And unfortunately, this isn't going to work out because I undid this for this particular site. So I'm just going to do this on a completely different site, okay? Just bear with me 1 second while I just have a think. Okay, I'm going to try this on my wife's site. My wife's site is brand new. She's just qualified as a nail salon. So let me just quickly go in here and see what hers is scoring. This is a really bad looking site. 33 out of 100 for the mobile, and the desktop version of the site right here, we can see this is 46 out of 100. I think you'd agree that that's pretty poor scores. And we can see right away here for both the mobile version and the desktop version, we've literally just finished building this. The first thing Google's telling us to do is to optimize the images for the website. So I'm going to click on this and I can see a lot of the images that the developer used are much too large. This first one right here, Google's telling me to compress and optimize it. It's a 724 KB image, absolutely massive, and I can reduce that by 99 KB. The next one I can reduce by 96. The next one is a 96%, 96%. Lots and lots of huge images, which can be shrunk down, and in the past what we used to have to do is take these images and using different tools, we would try and optimize them as best we could. But here's one of the huge changes that Google made. We don't need to do that anymore because optimize images, minify CSS, and minify JavaScript, if we just scroll down a little bit further, we can see here that Google's already done all of that for us. They've optimized the images, the JavaScript, and the CSS resource. So all we need to do is just download this to our desktop and then upload it to our server. Is that clear to everybody so far? Is everybody following along? I just want to make sure that you're all understanding what I'm saying. Okay, Crystal, yeah, wow, that is cool. What are you downloading? Freaking awesome. Where do we upload it to? Okay, fantastic. That's good though. That is crystal clear so far. Basically, for those couple of people that was a little unsure, our website is not fast enough according to Google for a number of reasons. One of those reasons is the images that are on the website are far too large. So just for me to really explain what's happening in the background, I'll open a notepad file. Imagine if on my website I specify I want an image to be 200 by 200 wide and tall and wide. If the image that I uploaded when I first picked it, it was 300 by 300, what my theme is doing is it's shrinking that image down to 200 by 200, but the user of your website still has to download the 300 by 300 image. So it's downloading an image which is bigger than it needs to be. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you all. So when Google comes to your website, it works out what size your images should actually be. And then, this is a recent thing that they started doing, they now give you the images in the correct sizes, in the correct formats, for you to be able to download and then upload to your website. Is that crystal clear to everybody? Let me just quickly check and make sure everyone's following along. Wow, yes, okay, yes, images, okay, fantastic. But here's the great thing. It's not only our images on our website that we have issues with. We also have issues with our CSS files. We also have issues with our JavaScript files. Because when coders or the people that create your themes decide to make the files to make your theme work, what they typically tend to do, and you might see this on your website, they put comment tags in where they will say theme created by, and then they would list all of their information and what the copyright notice is, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff which isn't actually needed to make your website work. That's them just putting their signature in it. So when you minify your JavaScript or your CSS, it basically strips all of that out. Because for every character that's being used, it's making your website bigger, which in turn means it takes longer for the end user to download. So Google very kindly for us has given these files here. All we need to do with this is click on that to download it. I'm going to save this to my desktop just to make it easy. And it'll be a compressed zip file. So now I'm going to go to my desktop, and I should have cleared it out beforehand, but I'm now going to extract this, and there's my optimized content. And I'll extract that straight to the desktop. This will just take a couple of seconds to do. And now you can see in here, here's the CSS files, here's the image files, and finally, there's the JS files, the JavaScript files. So it really doesn't have to be difficult for you to do this. All we need to do to get those images back uploaded to our website, there's two ways you can do this. You can do this with FTP using a program called FileZilla, or you can do this through your file manager. And what I want to do, just to I don't want to overcomplicate this process, so I'm just going to ask really quickly, can you just put a number 2 in the box if you understand what FTP and FileZilla is? I just don't want to blow people's minds by showing too many steps and making it complicated. Okay, I'm getting lots and lots of 2s.
You got a smart bunch here to work with.
On here know what. Yeah, fantastic. And that's always good, because if I start saying to people, download FileZilla, this is how you set it up, what you do, it will just be create issues if most people are not familiar. But really quickly, just for those 1 or 2 that wasn't familiar, just head to Google and just type in FileZilla, and you can download it from FileZilla Project. There's 2 options to choose in here. You want to download the FileZilla client. And basically, once that's downloaded, it's a little program here you can use, and then you can connect to the back end of your website to upload files to it. It's the quickest and easiest way to do it. So in order for us to connect to our website, we first need to create an FTP account, and we do that in our cPanel. Hopefully most of you have got cPanel installed. So all I'm going to do here to create a cPanel account is go to to create an FTP account. I'm going to go to FTP accounts. I'm going to create a new login. I'll just make this easier for now. I'm just going to say 123, and I'm going to create a quick password for this. It must be at least 70, so let me just try and make this a little bit stronger. I'm going to forget it. 1 second. Yes. And the directory I want to connect to on my website is just the public HTML directory, like this. And then I can click Create FTP account. So we'll just wait for that to complete. And whilst that's doing that, I can now connect to this domain. And I'm going to connect to the main domain that's on this account. So just bear with me 1 second. No. pinkiespolished.com. Username 123 at pinkiespolished.com. And let me just, before I try and connect, that's done. Have I spelled this right? Just bear with me 1 second. I've forgotten the password. Okay, I'm just going to do this a slightly different way. Sorry about this. I just forgot what password I set up. Okay, so I'm in the back office of the website now. You will be able to log in using the details that you set up. I just forgot what the password I used. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that particular website, which is pinkiespolished.com. And here's all of the files for that website now. Hopefully you can all see that on the right-hand side. So it really now is just as simple as go into my desktop on the left-hand side, and we'll go into optimize content, and we'll start off with the images. And Google's going to tell us in PageSpeed Insights what file location those images are in. So I'll just click on optimize images. The first one is under image/slider/LVL lashes Manchester. So over here, I'm going to go to image slider, and then from the left-hand side, now that I'm in the right folder, I'm going to go to LVL lashes Manchester. And look at this. This new file size Google's given me is less than 5 KB, but the one that was there before was all the way up at 165 KB. So it's now just a case of dragging that to the other side, saying that I want to overwrite it, and that's just now dropped down massively. So that's a good start. What I'm going to do just at that point, because let me ask you this, in terms of the images themselves, is that easy enough for you to follow? I don't think I need to spend the time showing you how to do every single image, because it's going to follow the exact same process. I might just show you.
You did have one question that someone asked. They asked, how does that affect the image quality? If does it make them pixelated, or it's still as clear as they were before?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. Google uses something called lossless compression, and that basically means that it should look almost identical to how it looked before. What Google's basically doing with these images is a lot of these images contain unnecessary metadata when you save them. It would contain things like the time that the image was taken, or when it was saved, maybe the name of the computer it was done on. All of that really is unnecessary information in the grand scheme of things, and it adds to the overall size of the picture. And then on top of that, as I said before, if you're trying to get an image which is much too wide for your machine, for example, you might have an image which is 3,000 pixels wide, but your website's never going to display it in 3,000 pixels. It will shrink it down to the size of the viewer's screen. So as a result of that, Google will be able to work out the overall dimensions that it should be, and then it will give you the right size image to fit that space. And if you're using massively oversized image, which most people are, that's obviously going to be a problem. So let me just go to the website now and just look to see what that looks like now that I've uploaded it, because they might be my famous last words. This is the size of the image up here in the top left-hand corner, but the image that was uploaded previous was absolutely enormous, and it's been shrunk down to fit in that little box there. Is this making sense? Let me just quickly check. Okay, cool. And the quality of the image is exactly the same as it looked before. It was just a logo there. So just doing that one image, which has saved an absolute boatload in terms of kilobytes. Let's just rerun this and see if that's gone up at all. And you see straight away that's just gone up from 33 to 44 with just one image done. And I've got to do all of these different images right along here. The next one's 191, the next one's 192. For me, luckily, because these are all in the same folder, we've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got legs banner, and we've got 1, 2, 4, 3. I'm just going to chuck them over really quickly. That one, that one. Let's just get those two over. And then finally, it was called legs banner. Let's take that one over as well. They was just really quick fixes because they was all in the same. Let's run this now. It was 44 and 63. This might be cached, but let's just quickly check. Again, look, it's gone up from 44 to 53 out of 100. That one stayed the same, but this one's definitely gone up. And if we go to the website, here it is now. Let me just refresh the page and see whether those images look any worse quality. That one there, it looks like it has pixelated a little bit in terms of that one. Now, if that happens, this definitely looks like it's pixelated a little bit. What I'm going to say to you then on that basis, that probably will just be because the image was far too stretched originally. But what I'll say to you on that basis, if that happens, what you can do with these images, let me just quickly go down to where it says optimize images. What you can do is take this image from here, copy it, paste it into your address bar. This is your original image right here, so we can right click this, save as. I'm just going to save that image to my desktop, and then that was a JPEG image. I can go to JPG Optimizer, and you can optimize these images yourself so that you don't lose any quality. So I'm going to just drop this one in here just so we can see this as a real example. Shellac. And this is going to be doing them one at a time rather than doing them all at once like Google had. And you can mess with the compression level. You don't want to resize the photo, leave that, but the compression level, let me put that at 20 and see how the image looks. If I don't like the look of the image, I can always hit. This is starting to look a little bit pixelated around here, but that saved me 78%. So what I could do is instead of doing it at 20, I could do it at, say, 50. This is still going to save me a large percentage of the image size. But would that be fair to say, Cotton, that that doesn't look pixelated at all? Or anybody?
Guys, this is some pretty beneficial
yeah,
stuff.
that doesn't look
Guys.
too bad. That doesn't look too bad.
Guys, if you've been
So this
enjoying
image
what he's
now,
been talking about, go ahead and let Tim know. Give me a 7 in the chat box right here, because this is some pretty cool stuff he's showing you right here. I understand that if you're not getting it all right now, there is a recording. I would go back and watch it. I mean, especially if you're new, I don't expect you to absorb all of this in through watching it once. So, but it's very valuable stuff. Please continue.
So right here, this image hardly looks pixelated at all. But if we go down and we take a look at it, the old file size was 97 KB. The new file size is only 33 KB. We've made that 65% smaller, which in terms of the load speed and the user experience, that has been significantly reduced. Okay, so this is going to be a real good example of this now, how you can shrink this image down. There's no image on my wife's website that is this large. If I go to Pinky's Polished and we just scroll down and we take a look to find it, see how big it is on the screen compared to how big the actual image is. This image could actually be resized as well to be significantly smaller, and then that will then translate into an even larger save in here, because it doesn't need to be 800 by 700. Is that making sense, everybody? So if I hit back on here, I can say resize photo. The new photo I want to be 400 instead of the 700 that it just was. This is more like the size that's on her site. And you can see the new file size is now only 11 KB. Much, much, much better. so much less, so much less that needs to be downloaded from the user's browser, and as a result of that, going from one page to the next is going to be significantly quicker. So hopefully you can all go through that yourselves in terms of doing your optimized images. Let me just ask specifically about optimized images. Has anybody got any questions on that? It doesn't look like anything's coming in. That all looks clear. What is the length?
James, there was a couple of questions about whether or not this strips off the metadata.
It depends how you do this. It really depends how you do it. Some tools do strip off the metadata. I believe that Google's tool strips off the metadata, and I know that there are a number of these that will strip the metadata off. Whether that gets resaved again, like if you're doing it the way where I just manually saved it, I've not checked recently to see whether that's any metadata is being carried back onto it as a result of me saving it from my machine. Make sense? But we are saving this as a brand new image. So any new metadata that goes on it will be our metadata. So if you had an old image from somewhere else, I'm not sure, maybe you bought a stock photo or something that was encrypted with theirs, by running this process and saving it, you should be putting your own metadata on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think what they're saying is like if I put alt tags in the image and I geotag the image and I do various things like that, if I use this method that you just showed, will the new image have all that stuff that I did to it, or will I have to do it again?
So in those terms, sorry, so you're talking about when it's actually on the website itself?
Yeah, so when you're done doing this, after you've optimized this image, will the new image have all of the metadata that the original image had?
It should have it, yeah, because that's not done on the image itself. That will be done on the website. So when you upload an image to your website and then you link to it and you put in your captions and your alt tags and everything else, yeah, that image would still be there. You're just replacing the old one with the new one. But I'm sorry, the code for that will still be there.
Yeah, that's clear. I think that's what everyone was asking. They just wanted to make sure that the optimization they done wouldn't go away.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, perfect. No, that will still remain the same. If that will still stay exactly as it is. Any other questions at all?
Yeah, it looks like
Suzette?
winding.
Go on, sorry.
No. I was just kind of trying to help you out there with questions. If you found one, go ahead and answer it. I'm not seeing that many more come in.
To use JPEG Optimizer, do we need to download on our computer or just use it on their website? You just use it straight from their website. Just go to their website, jpeg-optimizer.com, upload your image to it, and then you just right-click the compressed image and save it to your desktop. What about changing it to a PNG? Is that not crisper? If you decide to start changing your images, remember you're going to have to go back to your website, because I thought about doing this. Google's actually got a slightly different one that they use. I can't remember what it's called now. I want to say WEP, but that's related to Wi-Fi. But Google's got their own one now that is the absolute smallest resolution that you can use. The reason I've not specifically done that is I don't want to go back to my website, download every single image and every single component, change it to that new format, point a different link to it, because remember, if I change my image to .png and just upload it, I'll also have to go to the website and tell the website that that image is a PNG now, not a JPEG. And that becomes a monstrous task if you've got hundreds of images. So in the first instance, don't worry about that as much as just compressing all of your images down so that you can get a big significant boost in your site speed. Okay? Let me just head back to this now real quick. In terms of minifying CSS, we can see Google wants us to minify all of these ones right here. Hopefully for me, most of these are going to be in the same folder. Yet we can see they are. For me, these are all in the CSS. This is not a WordPress site. What you'll realize when you're doing this for your own sites is if it's a WordPress site, it will tell you that it needs to go in the WP content folder, or it needs to go in the includes folder, or there's a little bit more bouncing around between the folders. It's not so clear cut. But for this one, as a standard HTML website, and it's good that it's an HTML website because lots of people come to me and say, hey, I can't speed my site up because it's a non-WordPress site. Well, this is exactly the same method I would use for WordPress or non-WordPress. So this is all CSS, pinkiespolish.com/CSS. So let me just head back to there. Back one more page. CSS. Google's already given me all of the files. So open this up. And we can see here, this base file was 8624. The new base file they give me is 7087. Some of the bigger ones, style.css was 43 KB. The new one's only 35 KB. So I'll just copy all of those CSS files and drop them in. And that will take care of that. And this is what's good about this as well as we go through these rules. Notice here it says 3 rules passed. When I rerun this now, if Google's given me good CSS files, which I would hope they did, that's now just changed from 3 rules passed to 4 rules passed. So obviously this is good stuff. Google's looking at my website and finding less problems with it than it did 2 minutes ago. And the same thing would be true with the JavaScript. I will just come back here, go into my JS, and just go to JS here, and just take those 3 that Google is not so happy with, and then run this again, and hopefully I've now got 5 rules passed, which I have. Okay, is this all making sense, everybody?
It's pretty powerful
Just quickly,
stuff.
just state. Okay, now the next thing with this that I need to tell you about is if you've got a WordPress site, because you have so many plugins, sometimes you'll notice that you won't be able to clear all of the issues that Google's telling you. A perfect example of it is if you have Google Analytics, for example, or some Facebook feed. It's an external JavaScript that is telling you to minify. There's nothing you can do about that. It's out of your control. You can't go to Facebook and say, hey, can you update your CSS that I'm calling on? Unfortunately, you've got 2 choices. You either remove that plugin or you just accept that you're going to have that issue. But what I would say to you is if they're external scripts, I wouldn't worry about it so much. Okay, and in the grand scheme of things, to put this into context, I really don't want any of you losing any sleep over this. It's important to a point, but it's important when combined with an entire SEO strategy. Okay, lots of people say to me, hey, if I increase my speed, is my website going to shoot up through the rankings? And that really depends on your starting point. If you've got a really slow loading site and you're scoring really badly, you're falling short in lots of different areas, and you fix all of those, that could be a tipping point. And some people have come back to me and said, I've done this and I've noticed my rankings increase by 3 or 4 or 5 or a couple of pages. But it's in the grand scheme of things. Could you take a brand new website, make it super fast and rank #1? On its own, probably not. Okay? But it might be that one little tweak that you need to make, which is the difference between Google saying this is a great site and this is an absolutely amazing site. Does that make sense, everybody? So really don't lose sleep if you get an issue like you can't fix the fact that it's telling you to minify Google Analytics or YMting or any of those types of sites. Unless it actually says your domain name in it is causing the issue, forget about it. It's a non-issue. Okay? Is that clear, everybody?
Looks like everyone's understanding everything you're doing, James. It's good stuff. One other question that we have is Brian Jones asked some pretty good questions, and then we want to kind of wind this down a little bit because we have about still an hour and a half of client getting stuff that we want to get to. We don't want to make this a 4-hour webinar. We can have you back on another webinar to go over this as long as you want. What's a good score to go for? What's kind of the acceptable kind of Mendoza line right there that we don't want to be under and we want to strive to hit?
Slightly difficult question to answer because I think different sites are going to have slightly different norms in terms of speed. For example, like between one niche and the next. You know, if you go into like the e-commerce niche, for example, that's going to be a website which is very image heavy, etc. And having lots more images, it might take slightly longer to load. But what I would want to see as a minimum is that both of these are yellow. Okay, as a minimum, you can get these green. It's a traffic light system going for red, amber, green. Having both of them red, like mine were, that's some serious issues that need addressing. If you can change them both to yellow, or they both already are yellow, great. If you can get them both to green, absolutely perfect. I know just through looking at through experience, if I actually went through and finished doing the rest of these images right here, and I fixed one more issue, which was the leverage browser caching issue, that this would go to orange and the other one would go to green. So yeah, that's where you want to be at. Orange, green, definitely not two reds or one red, one orange.
Great information, man.
The red is like hazel.
Great.
Yep.
I didn't even know about the color changing myself, so that's something that I can focus on as well. Guys, if you've really enjoyed this lesson, which I know I have, a lot of tremendous insight right here. And James, I hope you don't get offended by this, man. This is all in fun. How many of you guys have heard the song Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars? Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Great. Guys, I want you to go, if you've enjoyed what he's done, I want you to go to the Facebook thread. We're going to do a hashtag #UpJohnFunk. and that's what we're going to do. Show him that you've been blown away by what he said. Guys, he's helped us increase our site speed, showed you how to go in and do it. I want to see, before we get on to Stephen Floyd and us talking about how to make as much money as possible with this mobile apocalypse, we have 300 people on. We need to see 100 Upjohn Funks because he just threw it down.
I'm just going to finish off by just saying two things because these are really, really quick fixes, okay? And this is anybody that's got a WordPress site, which is going to be 99% of the people on the webinar. Leverage browser caching. WordPress has actually got a plugin called WP Performance Boost, okay? Install WP Performance Boost, and that will take care of the leverage browser caching issues. They will just all be gone. And finally, if you see this one at the top here that says Enable Compression, all you need to do to fix this is go into your cPanel, and as long as you're with a half-decent hosting company, up here where it says Find, just type in Optimize Website, and right here it says Optimize Website. And notice how this is disabled. I just want to change it to compress all content. Click that and update settings. And now all of my websites are being compressed. So that issue's now gone away and my websites are going to be scoring higher and faster as a result. Okay, so they're the last two things that I wanted to say. I've not fixed any of the other changes yet, but you can see already now, we started on 33. Just by doing a couple of the images, fixing the CSS and the JavaScript and enabling compression, it's gone from 33 all the way up to 63. And this one's not actually red anymore, and it's now at 78.
Fantastic stuff, man. It's great stuff. Guys, this has been a tremendous knowledge bomb drop on everybody. And it's just amazing, amazing stuff. James, how does it feel to get your own hashtag now? Your own OMG hashtag.
I like it. I hope nobody's registered the domain name yet.
Uptown Funk. We got Dave Keys already posted the song Uptown Funk for you. You know what? In OMG, it's going to be Upjohn Funk. So that's what it's going to be. So guys, if you haven't thanked him, we've got a roughly. I mean, if you can see it, I'll go ahead and if you're done, I'll take back so I can show everyone the Facebook thread so you can see all the Upjohn Funks right there. And guys, if you should be able to see my screen right now, if you can see that, James, everyone thanking you with Upjohn Funk right there. And Dave, like Keys, always has to add a little something special in there. So we have it just keeps going and going and going. So you've got about 125 people thanking you right there, and it's great stuff.
I love it.
James, thank you very much for coming on. Some very valuable information. I'd like to know that a lot of the new people, like including myself, that's been doing this a while, was able to take something away from this as well. So thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it.
No problem at all. It's great being on. Cheers.
Great. Guys, you've been waiting on it, man. Mobile apocalypse. We talked about it last week. And guys, if you are ready to move into what you came here for, you just got a bonus with James Upjohn. You got Upjohn funked. Now it's going to be time. We're going to show you how to capitalize and make money off hashtag mobile apocalypse. So if you're ready, give me a number 4 in this chat box, and we're going to light this up right now. I'm going to show you, I'm going to let Steven go first. I'm going to show you the exact email that I actually sent out to my clients that has helped me generate over to this point $18,000 right now. We're going to go over that. And Steven, my friend, do you need to take over this presenter so you can get started with this?
Yeah, that'd be better. I've got a real informal little PowerPoint slide to kind of go through just to get it started.
Great. You
All right.
should have it.
All right, guys, give me a 3 if you can see my screen. Let's see the threes. All right, awesome. Well, again, I'd like to thank Derek and James for both being on here. That was awesome stuff from both of them as usual, and Cotton for hosting me again as usual. I got to tell you guys, this is one of those things that you can make money with like right away. I've made a ton of money with this week, and I know Cotton has too. And I love you guys, and I want to help and support you, but I seriously thought about whether or not to share this, to be honest with you. The opportunity right now is just so big that I really just had to kind of have a heart-to-heart with Cotton, and, and of course, he always had OMG, in his mind first, so that's why we're going to do this. So I'm going to do a really, really short recap in case you're coming on this one and you weren't on the last webinar. All right, so let me do this first. Give me a 2 if you weren't on the last webinar where we talked about mobile apocalypse. So give me a 2. All right. So we got we got a bunch of 2s. Oh man, we got a bunch of 2s. All right, so so there's probably 40-50 people at least. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a short recap of that. All right, and I respect your time. And I hope you respect mine. So I'm going to go through this kind of fast, but I'm going to give you some resources that you can look for as well. All right. So Mobile Apocalypse 2015. All right. So what is it? All right. So basically what it is that Google announced publicly that on April 21st of this year, so just a little more than a month from now, that sites that were not what it called mobile friendly would experience and I put in red, significant impact on their rankings. Okay, so they didn't say that they might have an impact on their rankings or something like that. They said that you will experience a significant impact on your rankings. Okay, so again, as kind of a recap, I want to go over this really fast because if you weren't on the last one, there's a couple of questions that were asked, so I want to go over them really fast. So the first thing I want to explain to everybody, for some of the people who weren't here last time, is that there's not just one set of search engine results. Okay, so if you go to your desktop computer and you type in a search phrase, you're going to get a search engine result page, right, a SERP. But if you go to a mobile device and you type that exact same phrase, you are actually going to be getting information from a different index. Okay, so a lot of times they match up, all right, but a lot of times they don't match up. And so what's going to happen is on April 21st, sites who are not mobile friendly are going to again have a significant impact, and that was in the negative side, in case you're wondering. All right, so you be aware of this. It's happening. It's not an if. It's not a guess. It's not a we think it's going to happen, or it's been verified. Okay, so this is one of those rare times where Google comes out ahead of something and says, here's what's going to happen. Okay, so if you just Google like mobile friendly or mobile update, you're going to get a million articles. Everything, search engine land, Moz, search engine journal. Doesn't matter where you go, they're all talking about this. Okay. And so, I highlighted one on here that's from Search Engine, and it says how large is Google's mobile-friendly algorithm? Larger than Panda or Penguin. And that's another thing that Google said, that this is going to be, larger than Panda, and Penguin. Okay, so it's major. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. All right, guys. So give me a 2 if you get that. Give me a 2 if you get that this is going to happen. Okay, we're not guessing here. We're not speculating. Okay, this is a fact. All right. We actually were talking about this in some of the Google partner groups that I'm in for months. Okay, and that's typically what happens. And that's another reason why it's good to be a Google partner, because you get information sometimes a little bit ahead of the curve. And of course, I always share with you guys. So anyway, all right. So let me go to the next thing. All right. So give me a 2 if you understand that mobile search has overtaken desktop search. Give me a 2 if you get that. Okay, all right. Give me a 3 if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you're confused. All right, I'm going to wait a minute. I don't see any 3s. All right, it's all 2s. Okay, so this reference article that I put up here, it talks about this, but again, this is a fact now. So again, this isn't speculation or just one person or one place thinks this. There are more people using mobile search than using desktop search. So when we say mobile search, of course, we're talking about tablets, we're talking about iPads, we're talking about Kindles. We're talking about any device that's mobile enabled that is not a desktop computer, okay? So all your smartphones, et cetera, okay? So again, we kind of went over this a little bit in the last one, but I wanted to get everybody up to speed. Now, there's a slide here. Give me a 3 if you can read what this slide says. Give me a 3 if you can read it fairly clearly. All right, give me a 4 if you can't. Give me a 4 if you're like, I see words, but I can't read it. Okay, good. So it looks like everybody can read it. What I want to point your attention to is this number here right in the middle. 73% of consumers access websites on their mobile devices, but only 20% of companies have a mobile optimized site. All right, so to sink in for a second. 73% of consumers access websites on their mobile devices, but only 20% of companies have a mobile optimized site. Okay? So I hope that you're kind of getting that. I hope you're getting the impact of this. And guys, this isn't just little sites. There's massive national, global companies that don't have this taken care of right now. That guarantee you they're scrambling. They are scrambling. Okay? All right. So, again, I'm going to kind of cruise through. We've got a lot to cover. All right? And so I call this slide my aha moment slide. Okay? So again, what I want you to take up to this point is that all websites need to be mobile friendly for 2 very important reasons. Number 1 is to not lose their rankings on April 21st, okay? But number 2, and equally as important, is they need to be able to convert, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples of that here in just a minute, okay? So all of this equals massive opportunity for you. So give me a 4 if you get that. Give me a 4 if you understand the massive opportunity that's sitting in front of you. Okay, guys. I mean, another thing that we mentioned last time is that anyone that has Google Webmaster Tools got an email from Google saying your site has failed the mobile test on X number of pages. Okay. So you've got a bunch of people out there, most of the legitimate sites in the world use Webmaster Tools and their websites. Okay, I'm talking about anybody that's a company that would wants to measure, that has web people, that kind of stuff, right? Not necessarily the mom and pops. Okay, but lots of these companies will have received this email. All right, and so yeah, Graham just said he just got it 4 hours ago. So good example. But literally millions of people have gotten that email. All right. And so they don't know what this is all about. All they know is that Google is telling them that their site is messed up, right? So the opportunity is huge, all right? So let me go to the next thing here. And again, some of this is a little bit of a recap from last time, okay? So what does it mean to be mobile friendly? Well, let me explain a couple of things at this juncture. So number 1, mobile friendly means that your site meets certain criteria that Google has determined, okay? So, what does mobile friendly mean is what Google says mobile friendly means, and there's a set of criteria for that, okay? And go to this address, it will give you that information, okay? But also this URL is where you can test to see if your site is mobile friendly. And again, we did that on the last webinar, so I'm not going to do it here. But all you have to do if you want to test your site, if you want to see if your site is mobile friendly, you need to do it in Webmaster Tools. Log into your Webmaster Tools account, and you can check your entire site at the click of a button. But to check a single URL or a site that you don't have access to Webmaster Tools, what you do is go to this URL, put in the site, and it's going to tell you whether or not it's mobile friendly. And if it's not, it's going to tell you the criteria to be mobile friendly. Okay? So now at this point, I want to get to something that came up on the last one, and that is that responsive does not equal mobile friendly. Okay? So again, let me say that again to be crystal clear. Responsive does not equal mobile friendly. Okay? So just because you have a responsive theme does not mean that your site will be mobile friendly. Okay? It may be marked as mobile friendly. Okay?
You know what, Stephen? Not to interrupt you, guys. Give me a number 9, and be honest. If you really know the difference between what a responsive and mobile friendly site is, and give me a number 7 if you're really kind of unclear. I mean, just be honest. We're the only ones that's going to see it. A lot of 7s, a lot of 9s. So I think you're hitting on a real important part of what you're going to show them, Stephen. No one is really clear about what the 2 are. So if you could please continue and make it real clear for them.
Perfect. Thank you for highlighting that, Cotton. And I am going to show an example of a difference here in just a minute. So I am going to show one that's responsive versus mobile, and why you really want the mobile most of the time now. All right. So again, if you want to test a single URL, go here. Now, before anybody starts saying it, you may get errors right now on that URL because everybody on the planet is using it. Okay. So if you go to this tool and it says come back later or whatever, it's because everybody and their dog is using it. So just come back later. The tool's not broken and your site's not broken. It's the tool being overwhelmed. There is a version of this tool, I think, in every country that Google operates in. So, for instance, if you're in the UK, of course, you could do, the UK version of Google, right, in this URL, or the Australia or whatever. Okay. So this is for the US, obviously, the .com, but each country has its own version. All right. So you can do that test, or again, Webmaster Tools is going to tell you for the whole site. All right. So again, this is a little bit of what we talked about last time. If you have a site that's in WordPress, there are a couple of things that you can do, and I did this live on the last webinar, that make the site pass the mobile-friendly test that are free and easy. And so, again, I'm not going to go back over all that, but you can install the Jetpack plugin, which is free from WordPress, and there is a mobile mobile option in there. All you have to do is press it, and it makes your site mobile-friendly. Also, there's a plugin called WP Touch that will also make your site mobile friendly. Okay. Now, what these do is both of these, at the base level, are going to put your site's mobile version as a kind of a generic looking kind of thing. Okay. So from a conversion perspective, you're probably not going to want to use either of these. Okay, on a site that gets a lot of traffic. All right. Just passing the test, these will work. And let's just say that you're getting close to April 21st. And you haven't implemented the solution I'm going to suggest here a little bit later, then this is something that can get you over the hump. Okay, this is something that can get you over the hump. And I'm going to address non-WordPress sites here in just a minute. All right. So now we're getting to the good stuff. So earlier I said, that there's an opportunity here. So here comes the questions. Number 1, would you like me to show you how to mobile websites for recurring revenues? Give me a 2 if that would be cool. Give me a 2. All right. Number 2, how to use mobile websites as an SEO splitting strategy at a cost of less than $6 per lead. And guys, give me a 3 if you know what I mean by SEO splitting. That is Cotton, the Hammer Grammars, phraseology magic. Give me a 4 if you don't know what SEO splitting is. Let's just do that. A couple of people. Cotton, do you want to explain that, or do you want me to?
Well, just to save time's sake, guys, those of you that are on this webinar have to have access to my material. So you're either in Director's Cut, which does, or you're in Project Breakthrough. There's no one here from Project X or J unless they've upgraded. So I would suggest that you go and watch my video on what SEO splitting is, and then you'll know. If you haven't got any clients up to this point, that might be a good reason why. One of the things
Thank
I
you,
wanted
guys.
to add,
Yeah.
Stephen, is and just to kind of add some more context to this is, what if you're someone like me that when I see this and I'm like, come on, Stephen, I don't do web design, I don't do websites, I do SEO, I don't get involved in this sort of stuff. I mean, I don't even want to mess with a website. What's up?
Yeah. So this is for you. And I think that that's going to be most people here. So give me a 3 if the thought of like making a website like is not something you want to do, right? If 3, you know, like you don't want to mess with this.
A lot of threes.
Yeah.
A lot of threes. And guys, this is exactly why I asked the question. And this is exactly why I am going to do this with what he's just
Yep.
going to show you. So
Yeah, this is, I think I'm right there with you. I think a lot of times people will see something like this and kind of gloss. So thank you for jumping in there, because that's the perfect segue into what I wanted to do next. So let me move on here real quick. All right, guys. So all right, I'm going to pull up a site. So again, give me a 3 if you can see this site clearly. Give me a site if you can see it clearly. Okay. So this is a site that I looked up, and it does not have a mobile version installed. And as you see here, so I'm going to scroll through a little bit. All right, so guys, I tell you what, in the chat box here, give me on a scale of 1 to 10 what you think about this site as far as, you know, good looking site or quality, like 10 being best and 1 being horrible. Give me what you think, 1 to 10. Like if you were considering getting a dentist and you lived in this city and you came to this website, what do you think? You think you'd be a buyer? You know, is the website good? So we're getting lots of, mostly I'd say 7s and 8s, right? You know, lots of 7 and 8. So and listen, guys, I agree with you. You know, if I you know came across this website, you know, I think it looks pretty good, right? I'd be down for that. So so let me show you real quick. So again, I showed you the mobile friendly test, okay? And just to show you, you know, I did it here exactly what I said before, and it failed, okay? But let me show you this. All right. So this is the same site. All right. So I want you to play like you found out, you know, your kid needs to get a dental checkup, and you just moved to this new city, and so you know you're rushing in between, you know, your soccer mom, you're rushing down the road, and you're looking for a dentist. All right. And so you pulled up your phone. All right. And this is an iPhone, right? And here's the website. All right. All right. And again, guys, give me a 3 if you can see this clearly. Give me a 3 if you can see this clearly. Okay. All right. So do you see how this is like? Let me ask you this. If you bumped in on this site right here, just like this, what's the odds that you're going to give them a call? Like, what's the chances you're going to give them a call? Okay, so I guess what you're going to do is you're going to write down this phone number or memorize it. Right? Give me a 3 if you're going to hit the back button. Give me a 3 if you're just going to hit the back button and move on. Right. All right, I got to tell you guys, I'm hitting that back button. All right? Everybody's saying a 3. Everybody's a 3. Okay? I got to tell you, I'm hitting the back button, and let me what the research has shown. That's exactly what everybody does. They're going to pull this up, right? They're going to look at it for 3 seconds, and they're going to be like, what do I do here, right? And they're gone, okay? So if you remember earlier, again, as a recap, more people are doing mobile searches now, right, than the desktop searches. So this dentist right here, he has this, everybody agreed pretty much that this was a go, right? Everybody agreed that they liked this site and that they were likely to call, right? So, you know, if you think about it as a percentage of traffic, about 40% of the people, right, on average, that go to this site, you know, this would be a buy for them potentially. It's a potential client, right? But 60% of them are not, right? And so, you know, this is just like, give me a 3 if this is clicking. Give me a 3 if this is clicking for you. All right, good. All right, good. Give me a 3 if you see this. So give me a think that this dentist, if they knew better, could be a client for you. Right? Give me a 4 if you think nah. Give me a 4 if you think nah, but you know they're cool with what they got. They probably just ignore me. You know, I probably couldn't get past the gatekeeper. That's too much work, right? I wouldn't even try, right? Yeah, I see 0 fours, Cotton. Not a 4 in the bunch. Okay? Let me ask you a different way. If you were the dentist and I showed you this, okay, do you think you'd listen to me? Do you think I'd get a talk with you? Do you think I'd at least get a talk with you? Give me a 4 if you think so. Give me a 4 if you think I'd at least get a sit down with you to talk about it. Right? Yeah. Okay. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay. Nothing but 4s.
Guys, what I want to emphasize to you right now, this is pretty powerful stuff right now. Now, how this is being shown right now, and what he's getting ready to show you here in a second, you don't have to even know SEO. Isn't that right, Stephen?
Oh no, you don't. I mean, I could teach my 11-year-old daughter. I could teach how to do this in like 15 or 20 minutes. I promise you.
Guys, give me a number 9 if you need to make money right now. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, right now. Yep.
And guess what? You've got about 5 weeks right now to make money right now. And there's all of these sites like this. And guess what? You don't have to go in and start training, going through 100 hours worth of videos, buying PBNs, doing anything else right now. Guys, we are showing you something right here. And he's going to continue. That you're going to be able to go out and make money at the moment that you end this webinar. You can get on the phone and do what we're going to show you and make money right now. You don't have to know SEO or anything. That's how important that I want you to understand this. So please pay attention, Stephen. Continue.
All right, this is that point. We're at that point in the webinar where it's about to go off the hook here. So do we want to is everybody on? We got everybody ready? Is everybody ready for this? Give me a 3 if you're ready for this. All right, Cotton, without any further ado, I will proceed.
You know what? Maybe it's hashtag time.
All right.
Maybe we need a hashtag show me Steve. That's right. Show me Steve. Come on, guys. Let's get 100
of them.
I'm like telling you, this is going to blow their minds. They're going to be doing a hashtag mind blown right after you're done. I guarantee it. But
I'm gonna do my best to make this as clear as possible. But listen, guys, if this doesn't blow your mind, what I'm about to show you, you either don't understand, or I didn't do a good job explaining it, because it's absolutely a mind blown. It blew my mind this week when I realized to leverage this a certain way.
So you're like saying that while we were doing the research, you blew your own mind.
I absolutely blew my own mind. And listen, I told you, one of my best friends is a web developer, and I just added, like 20, 30K to his, I guarantee you, to his bottom line this week. He was like, holy crap. Crazy.
Right. And you know what's even great is I'm like glad that you have this set up to show people how to do it without SEO, because then I'm going to follow back up and show how I've made my money with just SEO and exploiting this. So it's two things going together. Guys, looks like we got about 80. We need about 20 more. So if you haven't, please go over, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Steven and I worked at least 10 hours trying to get all this information together from last week. I mean, we wanted to provide you guys with something that was really important to us, that anyone, whether you just signed up for OMG last week or if you've been with OMG for a year, that you could do this and it makes sense. That's important. And we haven't been able to provide anything like that. One of the things that we did show is when Angela came on and showed online reputation management outsourced and how you can make a few $100s. This, in my opinion, between now and the next 6 months is going to be where the money's at right now, and going out and getting your foot in the door, getting clients. This is very, 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 very powerful. So Stephen, without further ado, let's show.
All right, guys. So here we go. Okay, so I show this. So I am going to answer all the questions, at the end. But before I show this, I want you to know that a lot of research went into this, and so this isn't just an off-the-cuff deal. All right, so a bunch of research went into this. So, all right, so here we go. All right, so first, let me show you, Cotton. I'm going to show you live, Cotton, how difficult this is. And then I'm going to go over the specifics. So, guys, hold up on your questions first, okay? So, again, hold up the questions. Let me show you. We'll go to Q&A. All right, so the site that I'm using here, it's dudamobile.com, okay? DUDAMOBILE.com. I'll put it in the chat box. This is like the Coca-Cola of mobile websites, okay? So it's not new. They've been around a while. I've been using them for a while, okay? But let me show you how freaking easy this is and how like idiot-proof this is. All right, so I'm logged into my back panel of the site, and you're saying exactly. I click on Create Mobile Website, okay? I am going to paste the URL of that dentist, all right? Elite Dental, all right? And then I'm going to select the category, and this is going to be medical, okay? I am going to click Convert 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. All right, 10 seconds, okay? And there's our preview, all right? So without me doing anything at all, here's what I have. So guys, do you remember this? Do you remember this ugly thing right here that nobody's going to click on? Okay? Now, you got the nice logo here, you've got the nice featured image, you've got the click to call, you got the easy to navigate menu. 10 seconds, and all I did was input a URL.
Guys, if this just didn't blow your mind about how easy this was, I mean, tell me that this isn't blowing your mind right now. I mean, guys, I think we're due. And yes, we just created the mobile site. We just created the mobile site, guys. Now is the time that we wait for in every part of a simulation webinar, guys. It's time for hashtag mindblown. Hashtag mindblown, guys. You can convert their site over that damn easy. You don't have to know anything about web design. It took 10 seconds. Guys, if your mind was not truly blown on this, you need your head checked. Please, I want to see at least 200 hashtag mindblowns on this before we continue on to show you how you can do this all day, all night for every client that doesn't have one of these sites. I mean, you don't have to be a web designer. That's what got me excited about it. I was like, wait a minute. You're going to sit here and tell me that I can press buttons and get this stuff going and I don't have to mess with any web design whatsoever? Yes, that's right.
So it's awesome, guys. And look, let me show you here too. All I have to do is click the little preview button, and I have a public URL that I can send to my prospective client. So I can have a before and an after picture and show him exactly what it's going to look like. And so far, this has cost me $0.00. And look, you can go through and see what it's going to look like on all the various mobile devices.
You can even rotate it.
Yep, you can even rotate it. All right, and again, that's something you can send to your client. All right, so again, I'm not going to go through how to customize this, but you could spend. I mean, it does everything that you want it to do. Okay, I mean, literally, it does everything. But let's say that you're done. Okay. Well, actually, hold on. Let me show you one thing. It actually, if you look here, it also has what we love, which is look, it's got our. You know how many people SEO their mobile sites? Give me a 3 if you think the average SEO knows how to SEO their mobile site. 3 if you think that. Give me a 4 if you think they have no freaking clue. Give me a 4 if you think the average SEO has no freaking clue how to mobile optimize. Not even a clue. You're right. All you people putting 4s, not a clue. I know this from groups because I've asked. I'm in some huge groups with quote-unquote experts, and they have no freaking clue. And guess what? Here we go. Built right in. Built right into it. Just as simple as doing it again. I don't know HTML, right? But again, I don't want to go through all of this, right? But what I want to show you, the reason why I clicked on this is, I'll read this right here. Give me a 4 if you can read that. Always sync with desktop site. What could that mean? I wonder what that means. Always sync with desktop site. I wonder. So well, give me a 5 if you'd like to know what that means. Give me a 5.
This is so easy. It's almost criminal.
Dude, this is so easy. It's criminal.
It
It is.
is.
I almost feel bad taking the money, and not even who I am, man. I almost feel bad. So okay, so look, what this means is, and then this is really hard, guys. I want you to watch me do this. Hold on, this is hard work. Man, I'm tired. I need a drink now.
Please don't
I had to
strain
click
yourself.
that button. It was really hard. Man, I'm gonna try not to. What this means is that if you go in and change the desktop, let's say you change the phone number, guess what happens to the mobile site? Anybody? You have got to be crapping me. Keep my verbs get on here in my language, but you have got to be crapping me. Okay? So do I have to log in and change stuff? Nope. No, I don't. All right? So again, this does everything you want. Again, I'm not going to go through and show you all this, but you see all these various things, right? So you could put all kinds of stuff on here, including a Google map, okay? You can do pretty much anything you want in here, including their scheduling apps that integrate with it, like, if there's someone who wants scheduling through their site, like massage therapy site that uses this, okay? And their customers can schedule right through it, all right? So let me show you the next little thing, okay, because I showed you how hard that was. So I'm going to click next here, all right? And so I'm going to go over the money part here in a minute, okay? How you do this, how you resell it. But just for the sake of this, I'm going to put the basic, okay? All right, and so right here, what you have to do if you wanted to upload this is if you have a WordPress site, then you will upload a plugin. And it will do it all for you. You don't have to do anything, okay? It does it automatically. But if it's not, okay, and so a lot of you guys ask, what do I do if it's not a WordPress site, okay? You have to understand that this is being hosted on their servers, okay? So can you say CDN? Give me a 4 if you know what a CDN is and why I want one. Give me a 4 if you know what a CDN is and why I want one. Okay. So guys, so for those of you that don't know, a CDN is a content delivery network, okay? And all that is a fancy way of saying that there's lots of computers all over the place that will serve the information local to the person that's searching for it. So like if you go to a big site like Amazon, for instance, or Facebook, you're oftentimes going to see CDN dot the website, okay? And again, all that means is this. It means that the content is getting shared from a server that's local to the person, not one that's where that site is, meaning fast. Meaning fast. Give me a 3 if you understand why we want our mobile site to be lightning fast. Give me a 3, right? So not only is this doing it for us, but it's going to be super, super fast, okay? And because it's hosted on their machines, it doesn't matter what your site's built in. It doesn't matter if it's an HTML site. It doesn't matter if it's a Wix site. It doesn't matter. It's going to work no matter what you've got. Okay? So setting this up yourself, if you want to do it, okay, means that, and here's the only techie part, okay, if it's not WordPress, okay, or it's not any other CMS, then you have to do this part, which these salespeople will talk you through, but it'll take about 30 seconds. Okay, I could show you how to do this in about 30 seconds. All right, for your clients. It's very, very, very super easy. Once you've done it once, you can do it forever. All you have to do at that point, hit publish, and you're done. You drop the mic and walk off stage. All right, so guys, give me a 4 if you see how freaking easy that is. Give me a 4 if you see how easy that is. All right, so give me a 5 if you think you could do that. If you think you could do exactly what I just did with this walkthrough, give me a 5 if you think you could do it. Perfect. All right, let me ask you another question here. I want you to tell me how much you think the average business owner would pay for a custom-made mobile website. Custom coupons. Oh, including updates, including unlimited updates. Okay, guys, I've got $1,000. I've got $2,000. I've got $700, $1,000, $3,000. You're right. You're absolutely right. Thousands, 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 okay? All right. So now we get to the money. All right. Are you guys ready for the money part? All right. Give me a 5 if you're ready to show you the money. 5, be the money. All right. There are different options for how to use this service. Okay, I'm going to show you the one that most people on here are going to choose. And if there's more questions, you can call the company, or you can PM me or put it in the public. Okay, but this webinar would take 8 hours if I went over everything. But let me tell you how easy this is, and let me show you what most people here are going to choose. All right, most people here are going to choose to be a Duda partner. Okay, and it's called Duda Pro. Okay, and that costs you $249 if you want to do this. Okay, if you want to do this, then that means that your cost is right here. Okay, give me a 5 if you see that. It's going to cost you either $6 a month or $60 for the year. Give me a 6 if you think you could mark that up. Give me a 6 if you think you could close a client to pay you something more than $6 a month or $60 a year. Give me a 7 if you don't think you can. I want to see a 7 if somebody thinks they can't close one of these. Yeah, someone put a 7, but they put ha-ha behind it. Exactly. Okay? There's no way that you can't make money off of this. It's absolutely impossible not to make money off of this. Okay? So this is the plan that most of you are going to want to do. Okay? It's going to be the 249 Pro Partner Plan. Now, let me tell you. Let's say, give me a 4 if you're an affiliate SEO. Give me a 4 if you're an affiliate SEO. All right, and you don't do clients. Give me a 4 if you don't do clients. All right. All right, Stephen, is there any way I can make money off of this? I don't do clients. I don't do it. Yes, Mr. Affiliate Marketer, there is. Guess who has an affiliate program? Give me a 5 if you know who has an affiliate program. Give me a 5 if you guessed it. Bam. All right. Their affiliate program, there's 2 different ones. There's like a $28 payout and like a $50 payout. Okay. And all you have to do is refer people, and the people sign up, and you get paid. All right. And again, all of this is on the website, and I'll show you some of it. All right. So that's the basic part of the pricing. But what I want to get here is, your cost for this for one client is $60 for a year. Okay. Now, there are other options. Let's say that you don't have $249 right now. Okay. You can sign up as a user. You can create the site for them. Okay. And you can just do regular pricing and mark it up. Okay. So this is about, roughly half off what a consumer would pay. Okay. So if I don't have the $249 fee, nothing would stop me from logging in, creating a mobile website just like I did for a client, selling it first, right, for whatever I want, and just paying the retail rate for it. All right. So guys, give me a 6 if you get that. All right. Okay. Someone asked about white labeling. Yes, it's white labeled. Absolutely white labeled. As a matter of fact, it's better than white labeled. You actually put your own logo and stuff in there. Everything is like white labeled for you. And on top of that, and again, I don't know over that in this demo, in this webinar, but they give you a ton of marketing collateral to help you sell. Someone asked what is white labeled. That means that Duda Mobile is okay with me selling this to other people, and the Duda Mobile name is not there at all. It's completely gone. Okay, it has nothing to do, so the client would think that it was your mobile marketing company. Okay, and so on the pro versions, no, there is no branding. There is on the free versions. So again, I don't want to answer too many questions now, but I do see just a couple of them. So there will be, if you use the free option, then there is branding, and there's lots of limited choices. Okay, and so again, this is the option most of you are going to want to choose. Now, there's another option that's $159, one-time, lifetime fee for a mobile website, okay? And there's no special pricing on that for partners. So again, not as a partner program. The client, you could pay due to mobile $159 one time to have lifetime, a lifetime mobile site. So if you're going to do it that way, then again, you could do that before, without signing up this 249, and it's 159 forever. If you can't upsell that, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't even know what to tell you. I saw numbers in there that were in the thousands. Okay, I can tell you that easy as pie, you can sell these things for 500, 700, 500, 750, right? And listen, guys, they're completely customizable, and I didn't even go into the store, right? I'm not even going to go into that, but actually you can set these up as an e-commerce store as well, okay? And you see the pricing here. I'm talking about a fully functional mobile e-commerce store, and if you think about it, guys, how many people do that, right? How many people, are going to go in there and buy stuff, again, on their mobile phone? So, if you have an e-commerce store, you need a mobile e-commerce store. You can offer that as a partner, okay? Again, partner benefits, are going to be, phone support is going to be better. You're going to have your own sales rep. And before anyone asks, I'm not a due to partner. I have no financial interest in due to mobile, okay? I have no, I'm getting nothing for this. I'm not, I don't get paid back anyway for this, okay? So the pricing stuff, Cotton, I'm not sure where you wanted to jump in, but the next thing I would talk about would be some of the ways to use this for lead gen. You want me to continue?
Yeah, you can go ahead and continue. Because what I'm going to take over is how I'm going to use this to bridge the gap to not only get my foot in the door, but I'm always looking for clients. The reason that I see this is there is money for you to make in this right now. If you're like me, I want to make the most money over the space of time, which is having an SEO client. So for those of you that are brand new, this is amazing to get your foot in the door. Anytime that people make decisions, there's only one of three ways there's three ways that everyone makes decisions by: comfort, pain, and pleasure. Yep. And if you're in a lot of pain, you'll make decisions very, very, very quickly. It's like if I ask you, do you need to go to a doctor right now? You're going to say, not really. And it depends on how bad you feel. But if your finger is cut off, you'll make that decision instantly to go. When you show them, if I tell you, hey, we've ran a test, you've got cancer, you want a doctor right now, and you'll pay even more than maybe double the amount to get it taken care of and to find out what you can do. Guys, they're in a position of pain right now. They're in a position of fear. The bottom line is Google is doing this, you're not. You're there as a good Samaritan trying to help them solve a problem that they're going to have with you or without you. So that's what I want you to look at. This is
absolutely. So So I just got a couple more things. So one thing I want to show you guys real quick, the screenshot here. This is an example of something that you can send to a potential client. Okay. So as an example, guys, give me a 5 if you think if the client saw these, right, and you said, hey, I'd like to meet with you, to move you from this to this. If you think you could get a meeting with them, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Even if they didn't know about Mobile Armageddon that's coming up here, right, or Mobile Apocalypse, I'm sorry. Even if they didn't know about that, this is just common sense. And again, there's different ways, and I'm not going to go into a bunch of different things because I know Cotton's going to cover that too, but, there's lots of ways to do this. You could do lumpy mail, you could do emails, you could do all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, one of the things I want you to remember is, even if you wanted to build one of these out, right, if you wanted to pay for it, and I told you the one-time infinity cost for a site is $159. If you have a potential client that it's worth risking $159 for, you could just go ahead and build it and just say, hey, I'd like to meet with you, and in lieu of the meeting, I'd like to offer you a free lifetime mobile website. Do you think you'd get that meeting? Give me a 3 if you think you'd get that meeting. Give me a 4 if you think you wouldn't. And again, I want to go back to this, guys. This dentist is probably not a graphic designer, but I hope this sinks into you. Give me a 4 if this sinks into you. When you look at this site, right, and then you go back here and you look at this thing. Give me a 4 if you're just like, oh man, epic fail, right? I'm sorry, but that's an epic fail to me on the highest degree, right? And so, again, what's going to happen is, So this guy here, if they're ranking well, that's about to go away, man. I mean, and already I can tell you, this guy, he's not getting nothing off this. If I ran his analytics account, the mobile part of Google Analytics, and by the way, if you didn't know it, there's a whole section about mobile in Google Analytics that tells you how your mobile is performing. He's not getting crap off this. I don't need access to his Google Analytics account. Okay, I can tell you he's not making any hits off this because, like I said, they're going, oh, this is frustrating, and they're absolutely leaving. All right, so again, I've showed you a couple of different ways that you can do this. I think hopefully I've adequately shown you how easy this is to do. The technical stuff is super simple, and really, honestly, guys, you could train a VA to do this fairly easily, okay? But to me, the most powerful thing in this is, number one, yes, the rankings, but also the visual representation of the side-by-side. I mean, to me, it's just, it's like night and day. I think even someone who's not savvy or mobile savvy will get this. Will be able to say, oh, yeah, I mean, what the hell am I going to do with this on my phone? This is easy. Bam, call us. Bam, call us. This is going to convert, man, 10,000 times higher than this. All right, so, again, there are, I think that's all I wanted to.
Guys,
I'll
this
probably
is
think of something after you take over.
sure.
I'm sure I'll jump in.
Sure. Guys, this is some tremendous stuff right here that he's went over. And who do we have to thank for this? Google.
Yep.
That's the best part about it. We have Google to thank for it. We always cry and complain, oh, these damn algorithms that are coming up, but man, this one's put money in our pocket. Guys, I want you to give me a hashtag thanks Google.
Hey, Cotton, I forgot one more thing. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I know what I forgot. Right. So let's say that you sell this mobile website for $500, okay? Then don't forget about the upsells, right? Well, for $500 you get 5 standard pages. Would you like a coupon feature? To have a featured coupon? Oh, well, that's $50 a month more a month. Oh, would you like, online scheduling? Oh, well, that's $100. You can just pile this stuff on, guys. You can just pile this stuff on.
Right.
So, you could even advertise these if you wanted it, mobile website, $99 or, whatever, right? But by the time they get through all the upgrades and upsells, you're up to your 500, 600, 700. Easy.
Exactly.
Right? Just easy. And this is forever. Whatever they're paying you, if they're paying you residual, the only math you need to understand is it costs you $60. If they're paying you more than $60, you're making money pretty much on autopilot. And they're not going to stop it. They're sure as hell not going to cancel it.
Guys, this is an ongoing fee. We're getting a lot of questions asked there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a residual fee.
Yeah.
You can forever. They're going to pay you for this forever for mobile hosting.
How would you like to have a client that you host their mobile and they're just not going to leave you, and then now you can offer them SEO? What do you think is going to happen? Give me a number 7 if this is starting to make sense right now. If you didn't realize that, this is residual, man. I mean, this just keeps going, and I'm going to show you how this is so powerful here in a moment. Did you have anything else to add? Please.
Yeah, that's it. So my last thing, I forgot to mention this when I was doing the slides, guys. All of you in here that have Command Center, Colin is working on a mobile. I hate to call it a scraper, but that's what it is. Colin, for Command Center, guys, your OMG Command Center, you're going to be able to put in key phrases and areas, and it's going to spit out a list of websites that are not mobile friendly. Okay, that's coming soon. It's in development right now. Give me a 3 if you're excited about that. Give me a 3 if you're excited about that. You're going to be able to put in like Dallas and like a keyword, and you're going to get this just long list of clients that you can just knock them out, man. And that's the thing, man. OMG is going to own this, the East. I know there's people outside the U.S. in OMG, and you're going to own wherever you are. We're going to own this whole freaking mobile planet, guys.
There is no other place like OMG. Let's just face it. I mean, we like try to make things so unfair. Just like when I talked about all those other little groups that people go into to try to get scraps of information. It's just kind of embarrassing. But guys, listen. There is a question. I want to make this clear. And if I'm incorrect, Stephen, just let me know. Guys, you pay $249, And it's only for every client that you bring on, it's just $60 a year.
That's right.
That's it. So I want you to understand that. You pay $249 to become a partner. And here's what I want you to keep in your head. It's $6 a month, your cost for hosting, to have the site up, everything going on. You don't think that you could make $100 a month off that site? You don't think you could make $200 a month off that site? Hosting it now. And they don't know, because remember, it's white labeled. It's going to say that it's coming from cottongrammar.com. It's going to say that it's coming from your agency. And all you have to do is worry about collecting $60 through the course of the year. How great do you think it would be if you told them, and because this is even, I just come up with this client idea just right on the spot, just by looking at this right here. If you told them, guys, listen, if you go out and get me 3 clients, I'm going to waive your mobile fee and hosting for the next year. If you go out and you get me 3 clients. If this isn't firing off something in your head, give me a number 3. Give me number 3 if that's not giving you some ideas right there. Guys, just think about that. How powerful would that be for you to just call your client up and say, hey, Jim, I was just thinking about it. You've been so good to me. You've sent me a referral in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to waive your mobile website that I've been hosting for you for the rest of the year.
Awesome.
And if you could do me a favor and just kind of throw a couple more referrals my way, I'd greatly appreciate it. Do you guys think you could be effective with that?
Dude. And guys, these have QR codes on them, which again is huge. QR codes are huge. And Cotton, we could probably sit here all night and do this, but this one just came to me while we were sitting here.
Sure.
A lot of you guys want BNI strategies and like Chamber of Commerce strategies and stuff.
Massive.
What if you went and found all the members of your BNI and checked, and everybody that didn't have a mobile friendly, which most of them won't probably, you just went ahead and wrote it up for them, right? Dude.
What if you just gave it to them? Is it worth $60?
Just give it to them, man.
Is it worth it? God, you're going to look like the most important person on the planet. Guys, here's the Google Mobile Friendly test. Guys, I just want to let you know, you're like getting an insight when like he and I talk on the phone. I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. We could do an 8-hour webinar on all the ideas that we came up with how to make money off of this. This is just the scratch of the surface. Steven showed me literally that we have up, about 15 pages worth of ideas still, like training and other stuff that we could go in on.
Oh, yeah,
this.
Absolutely.
Right. So, just think about this. Imagine yourself going, guys, listen, here's a Google Mobile Friendly test. Here's the update coming. For those of you that don't pass it, please see me. I want to fix it for you and host your website for free.
Absolutely.
Do you think they're going to give you some referrals?
Absolutely. There's no way. And think about it too, guys. All your people that have, if you have a real estate agent in one of your groups, right, and you do this for them, right, you're going to get all their friends. It's crazy. Ways that you can do this as an SEO splitting type technique. Or just, man. And remember, I want to make one more thing clear before Cotton takes over, and I'm sure there's going to be another hashtag mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say you're broke right now and you don't have the $249 fee. You don't have to have the $249 fee. It's just when you set up these sites for them, it's not going to be white labeled, and it's going to cost you a little bit more. Okay, but you could still do it. So in other words, if you're completely go sell one, and the profits you make, you'll be able to pay this. Okay? So if you're completely broke right now, go sell one. You could sell Craigslist. Again, I won't even get started. But when we were talking about this, we were just like, we could talk for days about how to monetize this and how to use this as a foot in the door technique. Old clients. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Guys, one of the things that I really want to stress on this, and that I'm like seeing a lot of questions. What if? A lot of what ifs. And they're like, what if I get a client, sign them up for this mobile site, I do SEO, then I get done with the SEO and they just don't like me? Guys, these are the same questions that I refuse to respond to about Cotton. I don't want to get into client SEO because I can't handle 65 clients. All right, I understand that. How many clients do you have right now? One. Hmm. All right. Well, I tell you what, when you get to 20, why don't you come and I'll help you through it. So guys, please
Yeah.
don't be the guy that sits here and goes, what if? You want to know what? I want to say this just to get in the mindset of something. I ended up taking a client just in the last 5 days that I really felt insecure about. They're a Fortune 500 company that's connected to Disney. And I'm like sitting there going, and even I question myself, am I good enough to get this done? And you know what I said? Better me getting the money than someone else because I'm going to bust my ass to make sure they get it done.
That's right.
And secondly, I'm going to grow and learn along the way. Guys, if you're not getting outside your box and if you're not trying to grow outside your comfort zone, you can't ever be great. You can't ever be great. And so don't worry about the what ifs. Go out and take action. You're going to find that most people that go out and make money, they worry about the details later and they take action now.
Hey, and the what if guys, listen, you know what? The what if guys, you've got the best resource in the universe for all the what ifs. If you have a question, drop it in the Facebook group and done. I mean, just done.
Here's
Crazy.
another what if question I'll be happy to address. What if they say, I will tell my webmaster and they'll sort it out? Guys, what have I always said?
Wait,
What
wait,
have I always said?
what? Yeah, which webmaster? The one that didn't even know about this? That
Right.
webmaster?
Exactly.
That guy
But
that didn't know that you needed a mobile website like 2 years ago? That webmaster? Is that the
exactly.
guy?
Hey, Stephen Cotton, do you mind if I just jump in real quick?
Sure,
'Cause,
go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
this is, I've got a client that's been since July paying me 3,200 a month. And while you was talking, I just ran his website through the mobile friendly test, and guess what? It failed. So I just messaged him on Skype and said, "Hey, have you seen this?" with a screenshot of the failed mobile friendly test. And he's like, "Oh wow." And I said, "Because you've been such a good client of mine, I'm going to give you a free mobile site." And he's like,
Wow.
"Man, that is amazing." So
That's
I'm just going to go and fix this for him right away and keep him even client for another 6 months.
Powerful.
So yeah,
retention.
Powerful.
that's, yeah, I'm excited about it. So is he actually. So yeah, sorry to jump in, but I
No,
just
that
Oh, no. Great.
that
I
is
mean,
great. So it's a retention tool, James. So it's even a retention tool.
exactly that's the way
It's
I look.
brilliant.
You know,
exactly.
sometimes you might have a client that you've had for a little while, and you know, this is, in my opinion, it's a great way for him to just be like, oh, cool. You know,
Mhm.
it's just providing him some extra value there, and it's
Absolutely.
such a small amount in comparison to what he's paying, and will keep paying moving forwards. It's the least I can do for him.
Sure.
That's brilliant. That's
And
awesome.
and James, I'm like glad that you actually
Yeah,
chimed in
please.
because that really segues into what I'm going to talk about. What I did was isn't so much for newbies, but if you already have an agency, if you've already built a list of clients that turned you down or anything else, this is going to be extremely powerful for you. But before we get going, guys, I want us to thoroughly thank Steven. He's put a tremendous amount of time into this, guys. He's not here getting paid either. He's doing this because he loves OMG, and
Yep.
he's doing this because he loves doing SEO. Him and I talked many hours putting this together for you. And
Yep.
guys, I want you to personally thank him. You know, just give it hashtag thank Steven on there. I want you to thank him, and then I'm going to show you how I was able to send out one email, and how if you have an agency, how if you do the same, how you're going to be able to cash in right now with Mobile Apocalypse. But
I
guys,
appreciate that. I appreciate
sure,
that, Cotton. I mean, I'll
sure.
tell you, okay, in Cotton, like right now, I'm like I put my house on the market. Like my house sold in less than 24 hours. Like I had 5 offers, and so I'm doing all that right now. So I put my business, on hold because I thought
Mhm.
this was so important. And like
Sure.
Cotton said, I love being a part of this group. I love giving back to this group. So I'll tell you what, I'm not putting my money making business on hold for too many other things other than my family. So I appreciate all the love in the Facebook group, but like I said, it was a struggle to present this, guys, to,
Absolutely.
to to share this.
And
You
then,
know?
and guys, I want to let you know also, and I don't want to take anything away from him because it's amazing. But each week, I like literally pull my hair out trying to come up with a hashtag mind blown for everyone, and I want to continue it. I want to continue it, and running an agency, running all the things with OMG, and making sure that we have groundbreaking content anyway is not easy. And people like Steven and make it very, very easy. People like Derek make it very, very, very easy to do this sort of stuff. So, OMG is God. It's the greatest place in the world to be. So hopefully, let me check to see if we've got all of these. Thanks, Stevens here. We have way over 300 people here, and a lot of thanks, Steven. And guys, this is a definitely a hashtag mind blown. So what I'm going to do is Stephen, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and take back over the presenter.
Thanks, Scott.
You're more than welcome, guys. And once again, if you really, really, really want us to dig in deeper to this, Stephen and I could literally go on for about another 4 hours in another webinar about different methods that we came up with. Exactly, maybe even a module with it. This is something that we can just go on and on. But what I promised was, guys, is last week I wanted to be very, very, very proactive. And I wanted to get out an email to, I have a list of clients that have turned me down. I have a list of clients that are active and a list of clients that I've released back out to the wild. And there's a lot of questions being said, and even James has said that he had a current client. So what I did is I sent out one email and I was able to produce inside of 48 hours about $12,000 worth of new clients. And I'm going to show you how I've done it. Now, once again, this is going to help you of those that are up and running and have an agency. And this whole webinar touches on a lot of different things. If you've noticed, we talked about algorithms that could affect you. We've had James come on for everyone with site speed for the new people. We've showed new people and experienced people how you can make money right now with this mobile apocalypse. It's coming on April 21st. Now, this is going to be something a little bit more advanced for the agency people where you can implement this right now, or you can use a similar type of email to send out to other prospects. So with that, let me get on this. And if you guys can see my screen right now and you see 12K email, give me a 4. Steven, you got me saying 4. That's all you were doing is saying, give me 4s. So fantastic. And so what I did is I just sent out a simple email, guys. And if you've known me and anything about client getting, if it's not stupid simple, I don't do it. If there's 19 steps to it, I'm not one that wants to do it. It has to be basic. It has to be understood. It has to be understood by everyone. If I can't explain it to my dad, who doesn't know a lot about technology, to me, it's not worth doing. So what I did was, guys, is I sent out this email right here on March 12th, and it's pretty simple. This is the exact email that I sent out. Google has a massive algorithm update rolling out on April 21st, 2015. This is one of the first times they are announcing a change before it happens. The update is all about sites being mobile friendly. I'll be happy to check and fix your site at no charge. Failure to pass this Google test could result in massive traffic loss and rankings, which will lead to lost revenue. Don't wait till it's too late to get a clean site bill of health. This update is so serious, I'm extending this offer to your friends and family that have business websites to ensure they can weather this storm. As this is a mass email to all my past, current, and potential clients, please reply back to me on this email directly or call me on the 800 number listed below. Guys, let me ask you a question. Is this email complicated? Give me a number 1 if you think this email was simple and right to the point. Exactly. Give me a number 7 if you could have wrote the same email because there's nothing spectacular about it. Exactly. They're right. Guys, it's just simple. There's nothing dramatic about this email. What if I told you, and Rich, there might be a spelling mistake in there, but there wasn't when I send it. This is a PowerPoint presentation. So thank you for that. And so with this, do you think this got opened up? Give me a number 5 if you think this email got opened. Exactly. Guys, I'm going to show you just how many people opened up this email. What like happened is I sent out 331 emails. I got 167 replies. It's pretty powerful. Of that, I got 5 new clients so far that have equal to $18,000 from sending one email. Guys, if you have an agency right now, and if you think that you could send out an email like this, give me a number 2 if you think that you can make money off this. Exactly. Now, I'm going to show you why this is so important. And guys, this email not only hits them from a psychological point of view, but it also told them that they can invite their friends and their families that they care about. They absolutely forwarded that email to more people. And of these 5 clients, 3 of them were referrals. What I've also will do is, let me just click over to the next one, is that with this, and I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to spin this $12,000 into reoccurring by following the exact same process. So what I did was, guys, I hit them first by fear and by pain, by telling them that they need to get it taken care of. Notice, I didn't tell them that they could fix it easily. Notice that I left out the Google link. I wanted them to contact me. That's a touch. I wanted them to contact me so I can check it for them. I wanted them to call me so I can check it for them. Now, how quickly do you think they're going to return my phone call? Or do you think they're going to take my phone call when I call them back now? Give me a number 8 if you think that if they responded to my email that they're going to take my phone call. Exactly. Exactly. A lot of 8s. They're going to take my phone call. So of that, I was able to sign up $12,000 worth of new clients inside of 48 hours with just that email going out. People were frantically trying to get a hold of me. Actually, I had over 80 voicemails. 80 voicemails. They didn't even want to reply. They wanted to call me to find out what the hell's going on. Now, guys, that's a good sign about how powerful this update's coming around. They want to know more. Now, how I was able to do this is how I am going to turn this 12,000 into 30 is I'm going to do the exact same process, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a very similar tweaked email to the new clients, to all these new clients that I've signed and to the existing clients. That's a new email, and it's going to be to the unresponsive on the list, the people that didn't reply, and I'm going to offer them free SEO for referrals. They have to do a minimum 4 referrals before they get the free SEO services. And the referrals must sign up for a service at a minimum of $3,000 a month. Rinse and repeat and collect your money. Now, guys, I want you to give me a number 1 right now. If you think that all these new clients that sign up would love to get out of their $3,000 to $6,000 SEO bill right now. Exactly. Did I just help them explain how to route people into me? Guys, this is what I've been preaching the entire time. It's called the snowball effect. If you've heard me teach it before, I taught it at OMG Live. This is how you take and snowball clients and snowball clients and snowball clients by doing this. Do you think that some of the people that couldn't afford me before, that turned me down, that they might be interested because I've just shown them how to sell SEO services for me by passing along an email that their site might be in danger because of this mobile device? If you don't think this is powerful, if you're with me and if light bulbs are going off, give me a 9. Exactly. Guys, this is how you get it done. I will take, and if you want to know, Cotton, how are you always able to scale up? How are you doing $330,000 a month? Guys, it's a very similar process to this. The moment I get someone inside my fold, this is probably going to be the most powerful lesson you're ever going to learn if you're going to start your own agency. Once you get these, my only goal is to make them my salesmen. I want to treat them with the utmost respect. I want to put them inside my velvet ropes. I want to move them along. But at the same time, my whole goal is to get them to do what for me? Sell for me. So I'm showing them how to be better salesmen for me, and they don't even know it. That's what this update is doing for me. That's what it can do for you. If you've got a list, or if you've got anyone, you're crazy for not sending out an email and letting them know. And by even saying, hey, I'll fix it for free, why wouldn't they contact you? But stop and think about it. If you were able to get 2 clients from this, or even with your existing client base that you have right now, if you said, guys, listen, I want to give you a few months without you paying your bill, but I need you to send this email out to all of the people that you know. Guys, here's the bomb right here. There is a financial advisor that I know that myself and my girlfriend have that's got a list of about 300 other business owners that he manages. When this email goes out, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think I'm going to get any business? I mean, none. Give me a number 3 if you think I'm going to get some business. Exactly. Guys, everything to do with fear, everything to do with pain sells. Guys, if you're not going to jump on this right now, there's never been more of a perfect time to make money in SEO right now. Never. When you have this sort of leverage, Google has done something that they've never done since I've been in search engine optimization. They've told us when they're going to drop the hammer. And you are well ahead of the curve. So, guys, this is the lesson right here. Please think up of an email, guys. I just showed you the email. You can watch it on replay. It's nothing spectacular. It's very simple. It's very basic. What it lets them know is to go out and tell their friends and family about it, and to call me so I can test theirs. And when they call me, that's when I sell them and ask for referrals. Say, hey, Bill, how would you like to have a couple months for free on your SEO? Well, sure. Well, of course, what I have to do. You know, if you were to send this email out that I just said to your friends and family or some of your business owners, like I've been talking about for referrals, and if I were able to get a few, we could probably waive 2 or 3 months of SEO for you. Well, that's easy enough. All I got to do is send out an email. Exactly. I get him working for me. So, guys, if you have any other questions right now, I'll be more than happy to answer. Give me a number 4 if you thought this was helpful. Great. Guys, this is how I do it. I will spin this, and I'm here to tell you guys, I will take that 12K, I'll turn it into another 100K by the time I'm done. I'll just keep spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. So that's how it is. So let's see here. What is the title of your email, Cotton? It's very simple, guys. It's just urgent, please open, massive Google update coming. That's it. I mean, it's nothing. You can probably write, guys, what I want to get across to you is the reason I'm making money is because I take action. It isn't the secret formula, or I'm this great copywriter, or that I'm sitting here doing things better than anyone else. I want to express this over to you that anyone can do this. Anyone can. You don't just sit down and write it. That's it. It says, Cotton, you perform the actual conversion, like Cannon Creek, save the change how you. I'm not sure what that question is, but if you want to, let me see if another one. Someone wants to know if we can get married. And so, Cotton, am I giving mobile sites away to all 167 of them? Absolutely not. I'm only going to give it to the people that fail. How great is it that I send back an email to them that they've passed the mobile test, and send the email right back to them and say, hey, you've got a clean bill of health. You're good to go. Google says so. That makes sense? Great. It says, Cotton, hey, the people who replied to your email but didn't become your client, did you mobile optimize their sites for them? Absolutely not. Guys, what I want to explain to this is, listen, when I sent out that first email last week, let me like back this up over here. So I want you to understand. So when I sent this email out, you can look, I had 331 possible people in my list that I could send out to. I only got 167 replies. I showed you that in those, some were current clients, past clients, and some never became clients. So of those that never replied back to me, I will hit them back with another email about sending referrals over and possible free SEO, which will get them off their butts to become salespeople for me. That's what I want. This is the most powerful way. Guys, going out knocking on doors, this or that is just not me. I like to do things very, very, very smart. Scott, and how would you structure that email that your clients have to send to their clients since you have not heard of you before? Guys, let me ask you a question. Please don't overthink this sort of stuff. Here's where you get paralyzed in indecision. Here's why people like Gregory Ortiz, why Stephen Floyd, why Derek, and everyone else is making money. Take action, worry about what happens later. You say, how can my clients sell them to me? And why should they believe me? Because they're referring it. If I tell my dad, I just told my dad, hey, I ate at this great restaurant. My dad was in West Palm Beach over the weekend. He was hunting this restaurant. So if my buddy Brian, who I've been best friends with for 35 years, calls me and he says, hey, man, I just bought a car from these guys over here and they were amazing. They do this. I'm more likely to go to them. Remember, this friend is relaying to them that they have a problem, a pain, an issue. So if someone can do a test, get it done immediately, get them in and out, and it gets your foot in the door. What you do with your foot in the door is up to you. So I just want to make that very, 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 very clear. It says, if I don't have any agency website, Stephen just showed you how you can go out and find it. And guys, if you need to know how to find people's emails, go back and watch all my webinars. We showed you how to do Google dorking and to find people's email addresses and phone numbers that you can call them directly. So with every question that you're going to have here, you haven't went through all of the webinars in OMG or in Director's Cut. Guys, it's one of the things that when I first started out and if I was trying to make money, I spent 90% of my time listening to videos at least for the first 30 to 60 days. Guys, every question that you're asking is already in previous emails or modules. So with that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this webinar. We have been on now for close to how long? My God, it's a 3 hours. 3 hour webinar. Guys, if you haven't learned something and if you haven't been able to take something away, please, let's give another hashtag mind blown for everything that's been going on today, guys. Go over to your Facebook group and hopefully I'm going to go ahead and do it right here for everyone. Hashtag mind blown. Guys, we got about 350 people on right now. I'd greatly appreciate if we get about 200 of those. With that, guys, I'm going to give you a preview of what's up and coming, of what you can expect for the next assimilation webinars. One, next week is the webinar that we've been planning, that we've been trying to have for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Next week, Sue Bell, Jimmy Kelly, Russell Wright, and myself and Derek Owasiak are going to come on. I've been having Jimmy's feet to the fire for months, trying to show you something that is going to blow your mind. How would you like to know if your site was getting ready to get sick or get in penalty and you could take care of it before it ever happened? Or what if I could show you how you could tell if a client site was getting ready to get penalized? Wouldn't you like to know that so you could reach out to them in a similar way that we're talking about right now with this mobile apocalypse? I think you would. And not only that, but next week is a big Amazon software, guys, that we're going to reveal. It's going to be massive. This webinar is going to be open to all of OMG. So it's going to be a massive webinar. I know Mike Long said he's going to be on as well. I might try to get some more people on, maybe Fletch, maybe Joe Mark Fuller. This is going to be an absolute burn it to the ground webinar next week. Then April 1st, guys, this is going to be a big one. My good friend, Alex Becker is going to be our guest April 1st. Guys, I want you, and Alex is going to show newbies and experienced people how you can make money right now off Facebook ads. That sound exciting? Give me a number 4. Steven, you got me on this number 4, man. I normally jump around numbers, man. Come on, man. Guys, I want Alex to know that we're excited about him being here in a couple weeks. Guys, if you could tag Alex Becker and just tag him on here and watch me do it here, Alex Becker.
Oh,
Yeah, guys, I want you to tag Alex Becker and type in April 1st. He'll love it.
Turn off his Facebook, man.
Come on, guys. I want you to do it. I want you to show Alex that we want him here on April 1st. Tag him on that, guys. I want to see 100 of these to let him know that we're excited about him coming here, guys. Alex is never, ever does a lot of these webinars, and he agreed to come on April 1st, and I think he's going to have some crazy stuff to show us with Facebook. And that's how he makes a ton of money. So guys, please, the more he gets hyped up about this coming up for April 1st, the more stuff he's going to drop. And I can tell you, Steven and I know, hanging out with Alex, Alex holds back a lot. But because this is going to be a closed OMG webinar to just Director's Cut and to Project Breakthrough, and OMG is Alex's original home base, I think Alex is going to go ballistic on this webinar on April 1st. So guys,
yeah, he's gonna bring it, man.
Oh, he's going to bring it. After
he
I
loves
talked to him
OMG.
today. Yeah, after like talking to him today, crazy. Also, guys, I will help promote Alex stuff next week. Steven, when am I going to be a guest on your webinar?
The 20. Crap. Somewhere toward the end of the month.
Great.
26th, I think. 25th,
Right.
26th.
Yeah, I'm going to be on one of Steven's webinars for like Alex. Also, guys, don't forget, Greg Morrison's doing a webinar this Friday. Guys, Joe Martfolio, guys, I've like seen a lot of you ask a lot of questions about pay-per-lead stuff, and there's a lot of promotion going around about PPL stuff, whatever this or that, and coming up with crazy formulas that make no sense to me. It makes no sense to anyone. Joe Martfolio has been spending the last 15 hours putting together a presentation tomorrow night for your office hours that is going to blow you away. And he has a special guest that he's going to be bringing on with you that is all about pay-per-lead sites. I don't do any pay-per-lead sites myself, so I can't speak about it. I know Joe does, and Joe makes a ton of money off this. So guys, if you haven't went to your members area and checked out Joe's webinar for tomorrow, if not, please be sure and catch that replay. It's going to be amazing. So if you've ever interested in pay-per-lead sites or anything, Joe, he just texted me during the webinar. I talked to him for about an hour yesterday morning. He is putting together a very extensive pay-per-lead office hours for you tomorrow that is really going to blow your mind.
Hey, Cotton.
Yes.
Hey, Cotton, those of you that are friends, actually friends with Alex Becker, you know, he just changed his profile. So there's an Alexander Becker and an Alex Becker. Do not hashtag both of those because then you would get double notifications. So don't do that. If you're friends with them on both of them, definitely do not put both hashtags.
I might do both.
Just wanted to save my buddy Alex from too many
notifications. You know what, guys? It's okay if you do both. I'm okay with it. Alex will love it. He will love it, guys. Please, if you've enjoyed this webinar and if you are excited about Alex and if you want those webinars to continue, please, all I ask you is one favor. Tag Alex and put April 1st. I want him to know that you're excited. It will mean a lot to me. That's all. That's the only thank you that you can give me after this webinar. So, guys, it's been wonderful. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you soon.